All right, I'm back. Don't mind the jacket. It's the most Asian jacket I can find to make this video. It's from Japan. It's called Super Dry Japan. Has 3 zippers. 1, 2. Can't really see it, but oh, fuck. 1, 2, 3. Right? But I want to make a point. Okay. So I'm trying to dress Asian washed. But what I'm trying to say is Asian men did not quit Daygame because it became really tough in 2026. They quit because of global game platform scamming network. Things like ABCs of attraction, griefing, canceled, Casanova. They quit because they pushed them into Tinder or night game instead of real day game. Of course, this might not make any sense to you, but right? I'll change the title. All right. But that's why they quit. They went to Tinder or night game because they think it's easier. Asians have this mentality that they have to be pragmatic for Asian day gamers. What I mean by that is that if it takes effort for them to get laid, like learning the social skills flow drill or anything that requires some work, they'll never do it. It always has to be instantaneous, like dirty bulking for, game. They have to dirty bulk or some shit like that. And then right away, they have to get something right away. I just ate like 2 boxes of chicken from KFC. So if I get fat in the middle of this video, it is not my fault. I was just hungry as shit. So my jawline looks kind of like a little bit chubby today, a little bit cortisol. But let's give John a like and thumbs up. Yeah, please give me a like and thumbs up. So I changed the title. Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I got 681 laid in poll testimonials. So I technically have more Asians laid than all the other Tinder passport bro coaches combined that are Asians. I have more than the Queefing Cancel Casanova, more than ABCs, which they can only get 1 student laid in Latin country. When you call it K-pop maxing with a guy with glasses, he's the only one who can get laid for day game in the Latin country for ABCs. More than that Asian Lee or whatever he's called. More than like high integrity skills, which I call low integrity scams. More than even like some kind of gallant, idiots that used to be former ABC coaches. They can barely get anyone laid for day game. They have 0 day game laid testimonials. They can only get them laid in Latin countries and maybe 1 guy night game in the United States. And then you look at other Asian dating coaches. You also got the guy that Queefing Casanova stands next to, this bulky compound Ninja Turtle. They don't get anyone laid for day game. I'm the only one. So rather than thinking like John's Asian and he looks like them, but the other coaches have more halo effect than me. JT looks better than me now with his Ozempic. Of course, that's just my opinion. I could be wrong. But the guy has like an Ozempic face. Now he's a better looking guy than me. I was like, well, what the fuck? I used to pride myself on the fact that I was better looking than him. All right. And I'm a little bit taller. Now he's not only stronger than me, he's better looking than me. And I don't have the halo effect. That's a problem. Asian men, they always have to worship. First of all, they have a female psychology. They think relative SMV, first of all. So that's the halo effect. Number 2, emotional reasoning. Because they're so nice to you. These Asian dating coaches are so polite to you. Hey, guys, how's it going? I don't want to offend you guys, but get this, right? There's a report in Harvard or something where that Asian men have to make $200,000 or more. Then, that's how they talk like. They're so nice to you. Then they can equal to a white guy. They make you feel so fucking bad about yourself. Oh, you're Asian. Oh, shit, it's bad. Oh, no, it's bad to be Asian. It's like, well, dude, if you're going to continue to do that, and then they had an infield that they pulled from night game with a student. Of course, you don't know if they got laid or not. They never said laid. It's just a poll. And good for them, right? Good for them. Maybe that's why they're gaslighted. But you know that most Asian men have turned MGTOW for a day game code approach. They went to fucking Night Game and Tinder in Latin countries because of ABCs and all these other coaches. Even those other coaches that are better looking than me and taller, global game platform scamming network say, oh, you should go to Asian Lee, or that guy doesn't even have a fucking student laid. If we can go over to his page right now and look at his testimonials, there is none. I'm posting here. Well, I got smear campaigned, fucking Reddit smear campaign. I know who did it now. It finally clicked. Fucking asshole. But he's taking away all the Asian people that could have gotten laid here that they cannot get laid for Daygame there. It's like, well, John, why not just go Tinder, right? Or Night Game? There's more than one way to skin a cat. You have more confidence and self-esteem if you do it from Daygame because you need to stretch, which Asians do not want to stretch. So, as I was saying, okay, nobody's here right now. I see 0 people right now. But anyways, let me just click on the video and try to get it up here. All right. The faster I get this video up here, the better. So what I'm trying to say is that why would Asians quit Daygame? It doesn't make sense. Of all things, right? They should not quit Daygame. I think it's important that they don't quit. Roasting, let's see, Asian men for quitting Daygame 2026 to stupid Tinder in Latin countries. Come on now. All right. I'll post it on a second site, but let me post it here first. And I'm going to change the main video to this one. All right. Bear with me here. I have to do this because otherwise I have to get the word out. And today I'm going to do it no matter what. That's what I promised myself. So if I get fatter because I just ate some KFC, it's had delivery. So I just got it. Hopefully I don't get fatter throughout the stream because that'll lower my halo effect. But that's not the important thing. The important thing is to get this message out there. That Asians should not quit. Daygame is harder than Night Game. I get it. And Night Game is harder than Tinder. I get it. Especially going to Latin countries, third world countries. However, you should not give up. That's really the wrong mindset. You really shouldn't. Let's see here. Okay, hold on a second. Let me try to push this into the group. All right. I'll post it in the WhatsApp group. You'll give it a like and comment on this. Thanks. I'm on YouTube Live right now. Please like the video. Push it through the algorithms. Thanks. Roasting Asian men. Yeah. And now I'll just like, yeah, I need all the likes I can get. Otherwise, this video is not gonna like do very well. I just send it to some of my Indian students now. That's the best I can do. I can't do anything more. So let's continue. I had less Asian students in 2025, although I had like 2 of them. In 2020, I mean, I did get the guy laid. The other guy, he got a 21-year-old stripper, even though he's married. He got a 21-year-old stripper when he is like in his 30s. And for the other guy, well, he doesn't have a memory. That's why I talk about memory is important. Quarter is so blah, blah, blah. But in 2026, right? It's almost like all of them and ABCs are showing some Asians right now that gone to Latin America just to spend $7,000 just to swipe on Tinder for $7,000. That's right. Just to get like one lay. Imagine how low self-esteem these Asian men have become when they're willing to spend $7,000 just for one lay. It makes no sense, mathematically speaking, whatsoever. Okay, it keeps showing like, okay. Where where are you? Don't be a sewer rat. All right, I'm just posting that on my community. Okay, as I was saying, I know it sounds crazy because we're so used to hearing it's all about global game popular coaches with few or non-existent Asian laid testimonials for Daygame. People like Asian Lee, which they promote. If they say, "Oh, here's some boot camps that we recommend," why would you go to a guy with a totem pole face that looks like a rectangle, who basically barely get any students laid for Daygame? It's just like a guy that has no fucking merits. That's why Global Game or Game Global platform scamming network is a scam. Why would you promote a fucking loser like that? Of course, they asked if I wanted to go on their panel, and I say no, but it will help my business because I didn't want to fucking sell out. I don't trust anyone there, and I will not sell out my integrity just for a bit more audience there because they're awful fucking people. They're all scammers. Problem is that when self-proclaimed high lake count guy is not here on YouTube, now these scammers like are everywhere. Then you got these high integrity scams, or I mean high integrity skills as they call it. This other Asian guy in Thailand, okay, better looking guy than me. People trust him because he allegedly, at least in my opinion, I think he hires models. He stands next to them. They become optics, and then now they trust him, and now he's like making more money from school. It's fucking disgusting. Really, really disgusting. And that's the thing. Another passport bro living in Thailand and then preaching to all of you. Have you noticed for Asians, almost all of them have to be a fucking passport bro? What happens to Asians still being in North America? Of course, I used to make fun of passport bros saying that they have it easier. Okay. I think it's still not bad that, you know, because I read the book, The Nomad Capitalist, right? I didn't understand you guys before. I thought you guys were all just wasting everyone's time and just leaving. But in reality, I get it. But at the same time, ABC's does this on purpose, not because they have more game. They do this because they have less skills. They go over there to other countries because they think it's much easier to just swipe on Tinder because Asians don't want to stretch. And you're like, what? You keep saying Asians don't want to stretch, right? What does that mean? Asians don't want to stretch. They will never ever want to learn a social skills flow drill that can improve their skill set. They never want to do anything hard. Asians want to just bulk up, dirty bulking, eating lots of food, getting really fat, but they have like a big Shrek-like body. They can go night game with their black shirt, and then their bulkiness. When every woman goes home, then they can stand there like a Snorlax, and then they get an Asian woman. You see that? Asians don't care about day game anymore. They always want things easier. I get it. It's a big jump in terms of like, fuck, man. There's still nobody here. You fuck, man. I'm gonna try different titles until I get this one. Does that make sense? I'll figure it out. Maybe people don't care about Asians, but I do. This is my fellow Asian brothers. I don't want to see the birth rate keep going down, even in Asian countries. Okay, I changed it. I put the title in the MGTOW in the title. All right, let's try again. So we have to find a title that works. Yeah, I'm a little bit chaotic today, so my mind is scattered. But this is very disappointing. Do I just? This is very disappointing that there's very few people here. I changed the title. I think it's better now. Now we have two people. Okay, maybe that's better title. I put MGTOW in the title. All right. So basically, Asian day game late testimonials, right, is non-existent for other coaches. When you trust other Asian dating coaches who are better looking than me, they're stronger than me. Even ABC's guy is stronger, and he's better looking than me, which is surprising. After he Ozempic, I'm just, in my opinion, I could be wrong, but after he Ozempic, he looked better than me. Like, what the fuck? Everybody has a higher halo effect. Asian day gamers are the biggest fucking sheeps there is. So I can see they changed the title now. That's good. Hopefully it captures more people's attention. So while that's important, I'm going to share 3 exposed secrets with you today that's going to revolutionize the way you think about how Asian men have turned MGTOW for a day game in 2026. So who am I to talk about Asian in terms of day game or whatever? Well, I have more Asians laid for day game than every Asian coach in the world combined. I have more day game late testimonials than every Caucasian dating coach in the world combined for their testimonials for their coaching. I know what I'm talking about. I have some credibility. I've been teaching since 2012. And it's not just because I taught for so long. It's because I got these people laid that. Okay, let me ask you a question to wake up your mental filter. Have you actually seen Asian men being laid for a day game by any other dating coaches in the last few years that are Asian? Maybe ABC's one guy from Latin country. In 2024, he got laid in Brazil and also Peru. One guy, just one guy, who's called K-pop maxing, which they're trying to promote his testimonials. And all these guys do, how can there be only one guy that got laid that was Asian, but not in the United States, not in Canada, not in London, not in some Western country, but over there in fucking Latin America? Not that I'm against that. I'm just saying it is easier when you have some money and some status and you go over there. It's not because it's K-pop maxing. They say, oh, it's because he's K-pop. No, because he's better looking than all the other guys. All their other students did not get laid. So going on dates, it is very expensive, right? And you did talk to me about it, but I'll talk more about that later on. They're spending $7,000 for ABC's boot camp. $7,000 just to swipe on Tinder to get 900 matches. After 900 matches, they get like 12 dates. 12 dates equals one lay. They pay $7,000 for one fucking lay. How does the mathematics make sense? My Asian students they get laid here. They don't pay $1,000. They don't pay $7,000 in a Latin country. They only pay $1,000 or less. 900 before, now is moved up to like $950 on sale for Elite Bundle Resurrections. If you just go over there and look from my website on the link there, then you'll find more details about it. Because right now, if you search on Google, right, I get nothing but fucking smear campaign. So you should check out the link or the bio of the YouTube page. That's where you'll find my stuff. My podcast is back up now. I'm doing it regularly. You should check that out too. The John Elite Radio. But I'll sue that motherfucker, right? I believe that he's a guy living in Mexico now who was living in Vancouver who smear campaigned my name. I didn't know at first, but then I looked at it and it's like, wait, if you don't get laid in 2 weeks, you get kicked out. What program do you get laid in 2 weeks, you get kicked out? None. But in Kaizen, we emphasize most of the students got laid in 2 weeks. So if he didn't, and he quit, and he blamed it on me because he's lazy and full of cortisol, not showing up, we'll deal with that later. We'll deal with that later. When he's back in Vancouver, he might have a lawsuit on his hands. I already hired a lawyer. Just let him know I already hired a lawyer. Cost me 5,000 USD. So the damage that he caused for my business, because I did get less students, I will sue him. But beyond that, let's continue what I'm saying. So basically, I had 681 late and post testimonials. Coaching since 2012. I started teaching online in 2016 to now. For online, I've been coaching for about 10 years now. But if you add everything, it's like close to 4 to 16. Yeah, about 14 years of coaching. It's not like all of a sudden 681 latent poll testimonials appear out of nowhere. If you look at my website, if you look at the link on the very front page, you will see that I'm posting the homepage. You literally will see every single testimonial. It's not like a few students that got many lays. It's more like lots of students that got only one lay and a few people became superstars. I teach hard cases. I teach Asians. I teach these kind of people. The lesser minorities, they have it harder. However, what I'm trying to say is that they did it without day game boot camps. And everything is about boot camps with ABCs. When you look at other coaches, they just have more halo effect, like Asian Lee, whatever. The guy's like has a fucking totem pole looking fucking rectangular head. And people assume he must be good because he looks taller and he looks like he might be good. But then you look at his testimonial page and there's hardly anyone laid for Daygame. It's all a scam. But he's promoted by Game Global with the coaches that they recommend. Why would they recommend somebody that barely can get students laid for Daygame? See, you see that? Asians don't have the ability for dating coaches to get their students laid. Of course, you might be saying, well, what about other global game platform scamming network coaches? Didn't they have an Asian laid before for Daygame? Like maybe an Indian coach may get them, maybe a black coach, maybe a white coach. No, it's called the one token Asian. They have that one token Asian from many years ago. Even tall self-proclaimed high leg count guy. They also have that one Asian guy they parade in front of everyone to see. He had it harder. Game works. They always have that one token Asian that got laid for Daygame. ABCs have that other guy with glasses saying he's K-pop maxing. That's their token Asian. Tall self-proclaimed high leg count guy, a short guy. That's their token Asian. Does that make sense? They always have a token Asian, but the token Asian or Indian coach may have a token Asian, but it's always like some 2021 or 2019 fucking bootcamp clips. Way back then. So what happens when the inflation start hitting the economy? Then the tariff number 2. And then now the Iran war, which is going to last for 2 years. What happened? It got harder and their testimonials disappeared. And they only got one student laid among all the other scammers just because they're Asian does not make them a good dating coach. You might be saying, well, John's Asian, so it's harder and it's more transferable. Listen, they don't use the same shit I teach. They use mystery method or RSD method. ABCs was taught by mystery. That's why Asians cannot get laid. And even their Jeff Kahn and other people that they're with, they barely could get anyone laid outside of Latin America, maybe just one guy in America. In night game, not day game. Night game is easier than day game, and Tinder is easier than night game because day game is 20 out of 35. Looks is out of 10, money is out of 5, status is out of 10. That's why Asians have like a 1 out of 10 perceived natural status if you're whitewashed. Even if you're K-pop wash, you're still 1 out of 10. Your looks can go up if you're K-pop wash, but you're still 1 out of 10. Unless you're a fobby looking Asian, like foreign, then you become 0 with split ends and everything. You got to raise it to 1 being whitewashed. That's all we got. But when ABCs go to other countries, what they do is they status max. They have a high status job being engineers for their Asian students. All of them are engineers. Number 2, they have a third world money status advantage on their Instagram that they travel to different countries. So they show they can travel. Number 3, they have an exotic advantage. And number 4, they may or may not have lifestyles, but they have 3 extra points. So what happens? They go to a Mexican Latino country or somewhere like that, Peru, somewhere like that. And then they get 900 matches in 3 days, automatically, just by being Asian. But what's the big deal? Because my Chinese student already has like 100 lays from Latin countries. The women are below his looks level. Big fucking deal. They got 1 lay of $7,000. He has 100 lays. When I changed his Instagram, then he got he got 25 extra likes. I don't count fucking Tinder. Does that make sense? Tinder does not count. So having said that, that doesn't, who gives a fuck about Tinder? So I have more Asian late testimonials. And here's the funny thing. People stop caring about Asian late testimonials. Even though Night Game is 15 out of 35. There is no social skills and emotional control for a Night Game because it's a loud nightclub. You can't even hear. You have to yell like I'm yelling right now. You have to yell in order to hear what she's saying. You can only say a few sentences at a time. You can't have a conversation. And in terms of emotional control, you cannot have emotional control because it's hard to control your emotions and be chilled when there's loud music with alcohol. So therefore, you need less game. That's why mystery method works for Asian men. ABC stuff does work for Night Game for Asians. So I can admit that because I'm not biased. But does this stuff work for a day game? The answer is fuck no. So fuck no. Let's see here. Okay, so there's less people showing up. I'm trying to get this message across. I'm just going to get it across. I'm just going to say whatever I need to say. And you don't need to use direct game with my training either. So what is the concept that Asian men have turned MGTOW or they quit day game unless you were a passport bro going to a third world Latin country to swipe on Tinder, which is not a skill. It's obviously harder for short Asian men and day game, even if I get them late. It is harder, but a lot of them has disappeared in 2025. That's when the first year of the tariff, the Asians all disappeared because they only have a 1 out of 10 perceived natural status. They have a huge thing to climb. In 2026, they go to Game Global Platform Scamming Network because tall self-proclaimed high lay count guys not there roasting them. These people are running amok here, making a mockery out of day game. These guys, just because they're Asians with a stupid name Asian Lee or a high integrity skills or what I call low integrity scams, who are better looking than me, just because they have a halo effect and they stand next to women, does not mean that automatically they're inside them. It's like, oh yeah, you got no, he doesn't. How do you know that they did not just hire some Craigslist model from Thailand who's like, European? Come on now. It's like, how do we know that? Is there any proof? No. But these Asian dating coaches, these tall, good-looking guys, they're usually around like 5'11" or 6 foot something. They always stand next to a woman. They always live in a passport bro country. They always live in Thailand. They always live in like some other place. Even like Jeff Kahn and other people, they live in like fucking Brazil. And they have this social circle game shit. It's like, what the fuck? And then they just stand next to women and they use optics and they expect trust. This is a sick industry where I'm being marginalized, where people don't care. You see that? Not even one single like here. I mean, seriously, are you going to like my video? Fucking disgusting. Let me just text people and see if they're online. Never mind. Nobody's liking the video. I get it. Nobody cares about Asians. I'm just sending this to my students. All right. Let's continue. I'll like my own video then. How's that? If you guys won't like it, I'll give it a like. Let's see it playing. I'll give it a like. Testing, testing, 1, 2, 3. Testing, 1, 2, 3. All right. Shit, my lips look so chapped. Anyways, I can't do anything about that right now. Let me change the title a little bit. Why Asian men turn MGTOW? Maybe 2026. for code approach. I'll get rid of the night game and whatever thing. All right, let's try again. So you should not just depend on swiping on Tinder. Tinder is 12 out of 35. I know it's easier, but I got so many Asian men laid, but they have given up because there's a bigger mountain of skills to climb than every other ethnicity. I get it. You have a 1 out of 10 perceived natural status or 0 sometimes if you're very foreign. I know it's really painful and it really sucks. It's not fun being Asian, especially when you're out there. If you're a little bit shorter, you might be thinking to yourself, well, look, there's a Trump tariff. There's an Iran war. It's very expensive for food price. I get it. But then again, in order to get laid for Daygame, and you have to do all the John Elite stuff, like all his social skills flow drill. Oh, you got to do his body language too. Oh, you also got to do his whitewash tonality. You got to do his aero science. It's too much work. They think to themselves, well, they have to put in so much more work, and then they just give up. They turn MGTOW for Asians. They say, you know what? If I have to do all this for Daygame just to get LA, then they think, well, why not go to night game? Then it's easier for an Asian man to be black-pilled, look smacking or dick smacking by eating a bunch of food, dirty bulking, and then getting like looking fat and chubby like a compound Ninja Turtle. When they look all chubby and stuff, then they'll be like standing on a nightclub at the end like Snorlax, and then the Asian woman will see them. They rather get laid with an Asian woman in the United States because they think it's easier. And what's the worst thing is that the biggest treacherous Asians is that when ABC's had a boot camp in Toronto, I know they may not be charging the full price. Maybe they're just teaching night game. They might only charge like half the price or a fraction. But the point is that they went to them instead of me. Why? I have the solution for Daygame, but maybe they don't care about Daygame. They care about night game. They have already given up on Daygame. But the fact that they could fill their boot camps up really goes to show that the halo effect is getting to them. So they have given up and they think like, okay, if it's not Daygame, then the Asians have to go night game. You know, if it's not night game, then they go Tinder. There is no Daygame option anymore for other Asians. You know, they're basically given up. It's not, it doesn't even click in their brain. It's like, oh fuck, 20 out of 35. Oh no, you got to do all these drills that John Students has. Oh no, they just listen to ABCs. It's so nice to them. It's like, hey guys, I'm ABCs and I'm so nice to you. I'm so nice that I'll be tricking all of you because I want to comfort you. I know you guys, hey, get this? For a white guy, that's how they'll talk like. They're equal to an Asian that has to make $200,000 just to be equivalent to a white guy, according to a study in Harvard. It's so nice to you. And they twist the fucking knife with their pain points. They twist the fucking knife. You know? There's a knife. They'll twist the fucking knife over and over, make you feel bad. You know, it's tougher for Asians because of the systemic racism that Asians have gone through. They twist the fucking knife and make you feel bad because they research you on Reddit and stuff. They know exactly what your pain points are. They go after the pain points. They dig at the fucking pain points over and over. And it's painful when Asians feel like they are not enough. Then they show them there is a way. Hey, Asians, there is a way. If you go to Latin America and Peru, Brazil, or Mexico, then you will have 900 matches just by being Asian. And they'll tell you some half-truth about K-pop maxing when only one of their students with decent looks was able to get laid for Daygame in 2024. I think in Brazil and also Peru. One guy. But nobody else. There's not a second person that can get laid for ABCs. I get it. Hey, what's wrong with that? What do you mean what's wrong with that? That's the problem. The mindset when you ask me what's wrong with that. It is everything that's wrong with that. Because Asian men should be going out there for a Daygame. I know it's harder. And you feel less likely you're going to get laid. But you're losing 1/3 of your funnel. If the funnel is like Daygame here, then you have night game. and you have Tinder, and your only options in America is night game because Tinder you have no matches, and your only option is to fly for a couple $1,000s with your plane ticket and pay for hotels, pay an extra $3,000 just to be able to go to Latin America, spend $7,000 on a boot camp, and then just to get one lay after 900 matches. What's wrong with that? Let me ask you a question. Why do they have to spend $7,000 for a boot camp just to get one lay, going to a Latin country, swiping on Tinder, when all the options are opened up? If they can do day game, they have more leads for day game than they have for night game, which unless you're an Asian guy that dirty bulks with a bulky Ninja Turtle body that looks like Snorlax, who stands there at the end of the night when everyone goes home, and then the Asian woman that looking around to see who she can have sex with, she looks at that big bulky body and then he hits on her. That's what's wrong. It's like all these leads are thrown away, and I could have had a lot more Asian students. They have turned MGTOW because they don't want to do the work, because Asians are always looking for the laziest path. They never want to develop skills. I get it. I get it. We all had tiger parents. I'm saying this as tough love, Asians. I care about you a lot. That's why I'm saying this, because I want to help my people procreate. But when you listen to these night game, a fucking Tinder maxing in Latin countries or nightclub in the United States, and that's the only option for Asians, you're missing all the leads for day game. And I get it. All the other guys like Asian Lee that get nobody laid, or high integrity scams. I mean, low integrity scams. Asian gets nobody laid. He just has mental bullshit. I get it. Queef and Cancel Casanova, only night game for their students. ABC's only one guy got laid for day game in Latin country. Everything's wrong with it. It's like these Asians, for the coaches, are all former engineers. And they always, in their engineering mind, they're socially impaired. When they're socially impaired, they have to go to Latin America. So I can't answer that. But night game might be the only choice. Day game, everyone busy, less. No. You wait. You're probably Asian, right? Why do we call it only choice? You're the exact reason why I'm making this video. Because you're telling me that night game is the only choice. For who? You're Asian, right? That's the only choice because you made some excuse. Everyone's busy and less opportunity to close. What are you talking about? It's more like you lack the skills because you're an engineer. Yeah, so what? That is the problem. I teach day game, and Asians should have the option to day game. And my students don't take forever to close. It's just you cannot close. That's exactly why you said that. Because Asians cannot close. That's why they give you this bullshit and they try dirty bulk and go night game. Good for you. You think it's easier? Yeah, if you like Asian women, that is. And then these guys, these dirty bulking Snorlax, Shrek looking people will say, well, I can get a white girl. And then you're like, well, show me proof. From night game, I can get a white girl. Show me proof. They don't have a proof. And they just say it. They're going after Asian women. The white girls are in day game, and day game is super easy to close. It is harder this year, sure. Less people have memory, and I get it's harder to climb. There's a big tariff, Iran war. It's affecting people's skills because they feel like their survival skills are not very strong. They're in the Maslow chart of human needs for the basic human needs: food, water, shelter, sex, procreation, temperature control, toilet. They're struggling with the basics, so they can't focus. But at the same time, why should day game not be an option? Why? Because you think it's harder to close? Because you think they're busy? Well, who says that they're busy? Does my students approach like super busy women? No. They know how to choose. They don't approach like a fast walking busy woman. It doesn't even make sense to. She's busy. There are lots of women that are not busy that you can approach. And that's the thing. You just don't get it. You guys think like, let's go to nightclub. The reason why, because Asians, they have tiger parents. They don't have much social skills. Listen, I got tiger parents too, right? So I know what it feels like to have a very strict parents, very strict. And people say I'm like military strict. I get it. It's almost like I'm a tiger parent, but more loving than them because I care about my Asian students. However, because you don't socialize as much, because of your tiger parents, and you listen to other coaches like ABCs and Queefing Cancel Casanova, who are former engineers, Asperger's types. And then you may feel like you have these kind of traits because you're engineers too. And the problem is that because you don't recognize social skills, you can't do day games, so you think it's harder. You think there's no way you can win. Why even bother? But out of all the other Asian dating coaches, you got like Jeff Kahn and all these shitty people that can't even get people late for day game, that are former ABCs. You also got like Asian Lee, fucking scammer. You got like fucking high integrity or low integrity scams. Nobody gets laid. It's just positive reactions. Then you got ABCs. Only one guy got laid in fucking Peru or like Brazil, the same guy who had decent looks. One guy. Everybody else doesn't get shit. Then you have like Queefing Cancel Casanova, mostly night game or social circle game where they get canceled in Brazil, where they're running away from the law because they pulled an underage girl. It's like there's not much to choose from. But why would you think about them over me? Because they're better looking than me. That's the only reason. Asians are like sheeps. They look at the halo effect. They can't hear me because I don't have enough looks. I don't have enough height. No matter how many late testimonials I post of Asian men, they don't give a fuck. They don't care. That's why I'm going to post another Asian late testimonial from ABCs of Attraction student, former one. Well, he got laid with a white girl, redhead. That's my next video testimonial. That's why Asians quit. They don't want to do day game, but they should be doing day game because night game is the only option. Tinder will not work for you in the United States unless you're traveling. So you have very slim pickings. Your only options as Asians are 3 options. Number 1, you go to night game, you eat as much food. I just ate a bunch of food before I was here, so I might get fat throughout this today. But dirty bulk, eat a bunch of food, look fat as fuck, and try to do compound lifts like all the other Asian dating coaches. Big bulky bodies, fat bulky bodies. That's your one option. And go after Asian women in the North America. Number 2, your second option. You fly over to Latin America. You spend $7,000 for one of their boot camps, and if you don't do that, then you swipe. You get 900 matches automatically, and then you got 12 dates in one lay. But what's the big deal? Because even my Asian student from Asia, guy who got 15 lays, 5 models, 5 white girls, 2 actresses, and he got married. He got 100 lays from Tinder on Latin countries. 100 in 5 years. They can only get 1 lay for $7,000. What the fuck? And I told him that doesn't count as a lay count. It's a body count. You're just swiping. He got 75 lays, but he got 25 more after I changed his Instagram to using the 6 algorithms, my secret algorithms. I took away like half of his pictures. He's like, what the fuck are you doing? X, this one's gone, this one's gone. And he only kept the ones that have enough of the 6 algorithms. He got 25 more. I don't count that because there's not a lay count. You cannot make testimonials on fucking Tinder swiping because it's easier in Latin America because you're being passport bro. Imagine those are your only options. Imagine how depressed Asian men can become if your only options are flying over for $7,000, or maybe you don't pay ABC $7,000. You do it yourself just to get 1 lay. Is that worth it? You're paying like at least $2,000, $2,500 for tickets. They've probably gone up just for there and back to North America. Just to what? Swipe on Tinder. Like for 1 lay. Night game, you'll be paying for nightclubs every single night. You'll be paying for alcohol, the passes, and you'll be paying for the gym membership and all the food that you need to stuff your Shrek-looking body to be fat and to do compound lifts. You'll look like shit. That's the problem. So, but is it better to be bulked than to... This is stupid. Are you that guy before? You're like... I remember there was one guy here that was Asian, and he's like a bulky Ninja Turtle. I didn't say bulky. I say V-shaped body. You can still be thin and V-shaped like a K-pop artist or maybe Bruce Lee. Doesn't have to be skinny, or it can be like a bigger guy, like a Korean actor. But a V-shaped body is the most important. V-shape does not mean big stomach. The stomach reduces the V-shape. Because if you look at women, right, their hips are like this. It goes wider. This is childbearing hips right here. So if you flip that upside down, now the V shape becomes the upper body. That's the protector status. My students only like they dress whitewash. Today I'm dressing Asian wash on purpose, trying to appeal to Asian men. So my jacket today is not what I normally wear. It says Japan right here. See this side. There's Japanese words here. Super dry Japan. Yeah, this is Japanese word. So konnichiwa. But having said that, I teach my students how to V-shape their bodies in a short amount of time without dirty bulking and their intermittent fasting. But when Asians look bulky, it looks bad because you want the waist to be thinner and the body more V-shaped. But because you're dirty bulking, now you look like fat Ninja Turtles that only go after Asian women. And it is a bad thing. It is a horrible thing because Asians should not just be in Latin countries. So I'm going to share with you 3 exposed secrets that while you may think it's harder for shorter Asian men, and you might think it's easier to bulk up or just to fly to Latin America and swipe, because Asians don't want to do any work when it comes to skills. They want to black pill it or they want to red pill it. Red pill by raising their status, by status maxing in Latin countries, or black pill trying to eat as much donuts and, Chinese donuts and congee and Chinese food and stuffing their face, right? With as much food and bulking up as possible with noodles and carbs and everything just to look like a compound Ninja Turtle. It looks so bad when other coaches are talking. Even Queefing canceled Casanova when his other, sidekick, that little short guy that looks like a Ninja Turtle, all bulky and stuff. He's like talking about dating and all this other bullshit, working out, always bulky. What about the Asian man that dressed like a whitewash fashion that fits in her tribe, that has a whitewash tonality, that has skills? Where the fuck are you guys? You guys have given up. Last year, I still got student late, and he banged a stripper. So he banged a 21-year-old stripper. He's already married, and he bangs a 21-year-old stripper on the side. I'll post his testimonials soon. After I post the ABCs of Attraction student, former victim, that I might post this one next for you guys to ignore. But Asians should not turn MGTOW. That was really, really bad. They disappeared in 2025 when the tariff hit. It's just like, where the fuck are you guys? All of a sudden, did I start focusing on the other ethnicities, getting them laid? Like, what the fuck? I didn't want that. I want more Asian students. I'm mostly getting Indian students this year. Where the fuck are the Asians? It's like, guys, don't give up on building skills because you listen to global game platform scamming networks of Asian coaches. They have not earned the right to speak because they can't get people laid for Daygame. Why would they have the right to speak? Stupid. Absolutely stupid. Maybe I'll give myself another like. Let me just go to my 3rd channel. Ridiculous. John Elite. Unbelievable. There it is. So 1 like from a person there, and then 2 likes from me. Ridiculous. But I want to talk about this topic because you know what? I cared so much about Asian men before. My first mission, like when I was like online, I remember making a video, like a manifesto video. I called out ABCs. I called out the Asian men are quitting. I called out like all this stuff, their hairstyles, their fashion, to Asian watch. I called it all out. And you know what? My mission changed afterwards. When I start focusing on the Asian men, all the other ethnicities, right? I never built this system for all my white students, all my black students, all my Latino students, all my Indian students, all my Middle Eastern students. I only built it so that Asians will have the tools, then they can procreate one day. Because if they only depend on night game, it's very expensive now. Alcohol, everything else. And they don't have much money, and or else they give up. if they can't afford it, or they fly to Latin America because they're level 3 engineers, or they give up. Asians are giving up because they're giving up the free option, which is day game, because they don't have the skills. They listen to the people that are Asperger engineers, former engineers as coaches. They barely have late testimonials. Look at Mystery. He's logical, right? He's like Asperger's. He doesn't have day game late testimonials. Neither does Todd V. He's also a former engineer. Tall, self-proclaimed high late guy, maybe like 1 or 2 a year averagely, but I don't know about this year. Not that many. You see that Mystery method is to not translate to day game. You got stuck because you listen to them because they are stronger than I am. I'm skinny fat. Sometimes I look like I'm a little bit chubby today. You know, I'm a little bit chubby today. I'm stressed out, and I just ate 2 boxes of KFC right before I started. But they have given up. So, hello. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that they don't even get Asians laid. How can someone like Asian Lee get promoted by global game platform scamming network Game Global if he doesn't get people laid for day game? What the fuck? Just because he has a rectangular head. How can like low integrity scams, they barely get people laid, but they're more popular. They have a big YouTube following because it seems plausible because they hire models, allegedly, in my opinion, and they stand next to them. And all of a sudden, people turn into sheeps. Should I hire some models? I can hire some models too from Craigslist and get them into the stream. You know that? And sit next to me. Even other Indian coaches are doing that, unless they have status. Even other black coaches are doing that. They're just getting women to stand next to them. Right now, people are so delusional because of 4 traits of low self-esteem. Delusions, half-assing things, the wrong decisions, and quitting. But most people are quitting because they're already at the lower end of their low self-esteem. The Asian men need to raise their self-esteem and listen to what I'm saying. I will post more Asian late testimonials. I was saving them because most people look at them with a thumb up their ass and they go MGTOW and they open up their mouth. They're like this. They look so depressed, right? They listen to that, look at testimonials, and they don't do anything. There's nothing that clicks. And then they look at my sales letter and then they just go, oh, I can't afford it. It's like, what the fuck? You can afford $7,000 from ABC's attraction at a fucking Latin country just to be able to swipe on Tinder, get 900 matches in a few days, 12 dates in one lay. You guys can afford that. That's very expensive. I'm not charging 7,000. It's just that you guys are not skilled because you're socially impaired. But if you go for day game, there's so much sets out there. There's so much you can close. Don't you want a white girl, guys? Like my students, my Asian students? Don't you want to bang a fucking stripper like my students? I could play all the testimonials. I just don't want to interrupt what I'm saying. I would post them. No problem. Maybe later on. And a bunch of new ones that are going to be showing up on YouTube. But I think, how can night game be a bad, it gets me because you're a bulky Ninja Turtle, right? And you get Asian women, good for you. And then you say you get white women, and then it's not true. And then it's like, show me proof, and you can't do it. And then it's like, you see that? You're the exact example of why everything is wrong. You're exactly why I'm making this video, because you're like a caveman, right? Or a snowman, or one of those Eskimos, right? You're like an Eskimo. You're like, I don't get it. Why do I need a city? Why do I need electricity? Why do I need to expand my horizons? Why can't I just dirty bulk and then hunt for seals here? Well, good for you. You can. But at the same time, for Asians, the only thing that they can do is do night game to get laid because they dirty bulk. Are you not listening to me? When you're dirty bulking just to look fat like Snorlax from Pokemon and just standing there to get Asian women, of course you get laid. Because it's not because you have skills, it's because there's a loophole. Everybody's gone home from the nightclub. You still stand there, plant down, and then you look at this Asian woman. She looks at you and says, "You want to go home with me?" It's like, sure. That is a black pill kind of thing. This is not like a skill maxing. I mean, you're like, oh, it works for you. Does it work for every Asian? Not everyone can dirty bulk. And not everyone can afford to go to Latin countries to spend $7,000 at ABCs So therefore, you are one of those Asians that could do that. But most Asians from other Asian dating coaches, just because they can't get people laid from Daygame, and you think, oh, John's Asian, they're Asian, we're not the same. We should be based on our merits, but this is not a merit world. This is a very woke DEI world where Game Global, platform scamming network, will promote platform scammers. And there's nobody to call them out. And they'll just waste $7,000 for one lay. Fucking one lay on Tinder. Like, doesn't Asians deserve better than this? Every year I've gotten Asians late, but this year I need more Asians. That's why I'm calling you guys out. And you can learn not to be a sheep and worship the halo effect. Because I would never be good looking. I'm okay looking, but I'm not like terrible. But I'm never going to look as good as the other Asian dating coaches. I will always fall short a little bit. But John, you're decent looking. I'm decent, but compared to a white guy, I'm not decent. Like a tall, good looking white guy. I may be okay looking for Asian, but the other Asian dating coaches look better than me. So you don't listen to me because Asians are sheeps. They only listen to the halo effect. They only look at the bulk. They look at the face. They look at the height. They're like women. Relative SMV, 20 out of 35. Emotional reasoning and logic last. That's why they're so nice to you on the marketing. They're so nice on purpose so they don't offend you because your emotions, you get triggered because Asian men, for at least the pickup artists, not the whole population, they may not be emotional. They don't feel emotions, but they're very narcissistic. They get triggered. So they get triggered very easily. And that's the thing. They literally have, if you combine all the other guys, lay testimonials for Asian Lee, high integrity or low integrity scams, Queefing Cancel Casanova, ABCs, and you take all the other Asian coaches, there's really less than like 10 Daygame lay testimonials total for all of them. Really. You probably have like 4 from Queefing Cancel Casanova. You probably have like 3 from ABCs. That's already 7. You probably have 1 from like Asian Lee. You probably have 0 from like low integrity scams. Does that make sense? It's like, I get it. You can't do Daygame, okay? You like night game, right? You want to use mystery method tactics. I get it. You're Asian. You're engineers. I get it. But lots of my students who've gotten laid are actually engineers and biotech engineers that have gotten laid with my coaching. So it's not like something I'm making up because I'm going to post more. So after I finish a YouTube live, maybe tomorrow, after tomorrow, I'm going to post the next ABCs of attraction victim that got laid here twice with white girls. So, but I have tried I know Daygame is not fun, okay, for Asian guy. But if you're gonna walk in there Asian washed and then use the night game stuff to Daygame, it's gonna be harder. You're gonna say they're busy or something like that. No, it's because you don't know what you're doing. You don't have the skills because you want a black pill or red pill. That's the only reason why you're stuck. Because it's hardware issues. You don't have the social skills, the emotional control, whitewashed tonality. You're not whitewashed. So you feel like it's hard. You're going to get rejected every time. Fuck Daygame, right? That's what Asians are thinking. And then also they look at the economy. It's not so good. Why should they do it if there's such a big jump compared to a Latino or compared to a white guy? They have to, for their status, they have to do so much more work. Fuck that. I get what you're thinking. But I'm just saying, out of all the other Asian dating coaches, only one of them can get Asians laid consistently. That's me. There is a way to do this if you join me. But of course, if you like night game, of course, you'd be stuck with night game. That's fine. I understand your thinking. But for all the other guys who are not bulky enough to do night game and who have to fly to Latin countries, but they can't afford it, unlike ABC's engineers or Asians, now it's becoming very slim pickings because of lack of social skills. What, are you going to do social circle game for Asians? No, not going to happen. What are they going to do? Just feel depressed? You got to get the fuck back out there for Daygame. And you got to believe in yourself. You have a system that can get you laid. And yeah, it's not the easiest system. It's maybe uncomfortable, but you do it enough times, you assimilate it automatically, like a natural. The only reason why Asians are stuck is because they're Asian washed, they're not whitewashed. They just don't have social skills. Their emotions are like triggered. They're always rapport seeking. but I can fix that. I want to help my fellow Asians. Do you understand that? That's my job here. My first mission was to help all the Asian men. Nothing in the world do I care more about the Asian men. I'm like the Daygame Moses. I'm here to bring you to the promised land, which is white pussy. Blue-eyed white girl with blonde hair. Like my students, what they get. That is what I got you guys. But where are you guys? It's like, how many miracles does Moses need to have? One miracle after another. Oh, let's ignore this late testimonials. Asians given up. Now my students are all Indians. Where are the Asians, guys? I'm getting the Indians laid, but where are the Asians? Where are you guys? MGTOW or night game occasionally, but you can't afford it now? Or fucking like Tinder maxing on Latin countries? Expensive. Is $7,000 worth it for one lay? Might as well just get a prostitute. It's cheaper. I mean, seriously, look at the math. I'm not condoning that. I would never say do that. It would be bad for your mindset. But I'm just saying, for $7,000 for one lay, plus you have to pay for the hotels and places, you're spending around like 8 point something, eight plane tickets, everything, almost like $9,000 just to fly over there to swipe, just to go on some dates. They're making a killing off of it. They're making money hands over fist for ABCs. When you see Toronto Asians, the Fobby Asians going to night game, not getting any results, but regardless, they went to night game. And, you know, it makes me feel like, what the fuck? No, how many people do I have to get laid for Asians before you guys understand what I'm saying? You go for day game and learn their skills. It's not just because they're busy, not because that you just don't fit in her tribe. That's all. But if you fit in her tribe, I can help you do that. Remember, I care about my Asians. I don't hate Asians. I don't dislike them. I want to help my own people. None of this was really. Now my new mission is about growing the tree of life for my students who are autistic. That became my new mission. But my original mission, which I maybe forgotten about, which I'll maybe talk more about Asian topics. Maybe in the next video, I'll talk about Asia, right? The Asians in Japan, in China, right? And also in South Korea are having lower birth rates. And this is a bad thing because they're going to become an endangered species eventually. The birth rate is so low in China. They say there's like billions of people. Half the fucking people died. Like 400,000 already died from their COVID, like from their shots. At least over there, they might have a different one, or else they die for exhaustion. They're working to death. They're just dying like nonstop over there in China. Nobody is allowed to talk about it. Younger people now are collapsing, and they're not approaching anymore in Asia. Because whatever happens to Asia, it's like the canary in the coal mine. It's going to affect the rest of the world. But in Asia, in China, they have leftover women. These are the same thing as modern women when they get older, past 30. Nobody wants to actually marry her. And that Asian women who out there, very narcissistic, by the way, very narcissistic with this mindset that a guy has to pay like hundreds of thousands of dollars for her dowry, that's what they call it, just to be able to marry her. They have to buy her a house. They see it as a transaction. Now in China, how do I know all this shit? I know about my fellow Asians. In China, there's a new law that says that the woman cannot take the man's house if it's in his name. He owns it, which is good. But you see that? The Chinese men are having a new movement called laying flat. So it's not just America that's happening in. They're basically lying down and doing nothing because they feel like if they do anything, they lose more money and they might as well go MGTOW. They call it lying flat movement. South Korea is super competitive there. Everyone has plastic surgery. They only work as they go to certain universities and they work for Samsung or LG. That's about it. It's super competitive. A bullying culture, a black pilled culture. They're fucked. In Japan, man, the hikikomori is the guys who don't leave their room and just play video games all day. They have given up on life. But when you take the same thing and you move it to North America, the same thing that's happening in Asia now is finally happening in America. The Canadians outside going night game or bulking up, or it's like fucking, they can't use Tinder, right? In North America, they don't get any matches, but they're lying flat. I'm just saying, like, where are you guys? I want more Asian lady testimonials. Where are you guys? I'm calling you guys out. Forget about night game. Some people can get laid for night game, sure. They're bulkier, black shirt, right? No definition from their body, maybe huge deltoids, but no muscles whatsoever. Looks like Shrek. Maybe they can still get laid. That's fine with Asian women. But what about the rest of you who cannot do that? You're too short, you're too skinny, maybe you're super Asian wash, you just couldn't get the night game going. So you think, well, if it's not night game, then you can't afford $7,000 to fly to Latin countries. Then who should we learn from Daygame? I don't like Johnny Lee because he's very direct. He's not speaking like the marketers, like ABCs. John does not speak like ABCs and try to be extra nice to you and telling you guys what you want to hear. So that way, get this, guys. I don't want to offend you or nothing, but I don't talk like that. I just like the thing is that I talk like this because it gets through your mental filter faster. Asians do not quit Daygame. Come on now. I'm here to help my Asian brothers. I care a lot about my Asian brothers. You know why? Sometimes things in your life can affect you. Did you know my grandfather started a television station, a Cantonese one in all of Canada? He didn't get any credit because he's bought out, but he helped the Asian men. He also became an activist for Asian men. They're trying to take away all the Peking duck because the government of Canada, they say like, oh, that's not safe, right? He showed them it was safe. He showed them the facilities and they backed off. He fought for us. I'm fighting for the Asian men again. In the past, maybe I've gotten too far away from my mission. I've gotten everyone else laid. I've gotten the Latinos laid. I've gotten the Indians laid. I've gotten like white people laid, Middle Easterns, like everybody else. And I've gotten Asians laid, but Asians are disappearing. Maybe it's time to care again. How can I show you guys I care? What if I start talking about the Asian topics? Because you know why it's so important to me? Because Asian Lee cannot do shit totem pole head. Low integrity scams can't get people laid. Queef and Cancel Casanova can't get people laid for Daygame. ABC's only one person. The only one person that can get you laid for Daygame is Johnny Elite, the world's best Daygame coach. Because I have the ability to get you laid as an Asian. I'm the only one in the whole fucking world. Look, how big is the fucking population? Right? How come there's only one coach of all these people that can get you laid? And also all the other Indian coaches cannot get Asians laid anymore. This maybe like 4 years ago or 5 years ago. It's like a token Asian. What is the population of the earth? Okay. 8.3 billion. So only one Daygame coach in the whole fucking world of 8.3 billion people can get Asians laid consistently. Just one fucking guy. Do you think that maybe Asians could work on their social skills? That's why I teach, or their emotional control, or their body language. Why is there only one coach? That's a big. I didn't read what you said, so you may write that again. 8.3 billion, guys. That's what I'm looking at. 8.3 billion. What the fuck? How come there's only one guy of 8.3 billion that can get everyone? I have a special God-given ability. I don't know why I can get Asians laid. Nobody can get them laid consistently for Daygame except for me. Nobody else can do it in the world. But to disqualify me because I don't have the halo effect, because I'm not on Game Global, was I ever invited to be part of Game Global? Of course I was. You know what I said? Nothing. I'm not selling out, but that was a mistake because now I have less students. But what if I were part of it? I would be a sellout because I don't trust them. It's not like you can change the system on the inside from popular coaches. That's why you're stuck with the halo effect. My God, we're all stuck. Only one guy, 8.3 billion, can get you laid consistently for Daygame. Just one guy, one coach in the world. Johnny Lee. Why me? I don't know. Maybe it's a God-given ability, but I've been doing Daygame for so many years. I try every system. Of course, I've tried ABC system. I know what it is. A stands for attract or something like that. B stands for banter, be in the moment, something like that. C stands for like comfort. D stands for like direct intent. E stands for something else. I forgot. Evaluate. Like F stands for fuck or future, like a relationship. I know that I study every Daygame system out there. That one's taught by a Latino guy. that has no skills in using mystery method with no infields or crappy infields in their products, and then no fucking late testimonials or very few. Some Latino gentlemen. I mean, what the fuck? I should be teaching the ABC students. I'm not saying I should work with them, but they have the students I want. But I wish I could teach them for day game and they learn night game from ABCs. It's fine with me. We could give credit where it's due. ABCs can get you late for night game. Not everyone. There are some people in this group that were former students. I won't say who in the chat. Maybe, possibly. Did not get laid, but they look like they did with the optics. But they didn't. It's like, I have this ability. Why can't you guys let me use it? Who the fuck can do that? Do Asians, are they really 1 out of 10 for perceived natural status? What about Indians, right? It's like, oh, it's so hard for Indian. No, they have way higher SMV than you guys do. They do. So that's how much the Asians are part of the out tribe. Like I said, I want to help you guys. I care about the Asians. I don't hate the Asians. I care about the Asians. I want to do something. Because I'm good at what I do. I'm the best in the whole world of 8.3 billion people. Shouldn't I be like shipped to fucking China, Japan, and Korea, where the government pays me to get people laid to procreate? They should pay me for it. They should pay me and hire me, not as like a dating coach, but as a consultant for a B2B business. I should be helping the Japanese government, Chinese, and also the South Korean to get the population laid, because I have ability. Maybe I should pitch it to them. If they can pay me and have an initiative of training people on a mass scale, how can I reach them? Should I make another YouTube channel and dub my voice in Korea, Japan, and Chinese? I dubbed one of them for Hindi for one video. A program that can change my voice to speak Hindi, even though I cannot speak it. But I wonder if I should make one for in Asian countries. Then I can reach more people and give them a discount. Because in Japan, their money is worth so less. But maybe I should be helping their government because I have the ability. So what I'm trying to say is that you might be thinking that other Asian dating coaches, even if they can't get other people laid, but what about Tinder? What about Latin countries or night game? Well, there's more than one way to skin the cat, right? That's what you're thinking. John, isn't there more than one way to skin the cat? No, you're going towards your lower self. There's always a higher self, the higher self-esteem, or the lower self, where you take the easy road. You never take the high road. And I know that it looks like when you see my students get laid that are Asian, you're like, that's impossible. How the fuck is that possible? He's Asian. Getting laid for day game again and again? That doesn't make any fucking sense. That makes no sense. What about night game? What about mystery method stuff? John, I don't get it. How come you can get people laid? It doesn't make any sense. We don't understand. I'm trying to tell you. You need to be whitewashed. You need to have social skills flow drill. I'm trying to tell you. You need to have like you need to stop squaring off. You need to stop going direct. It doesn't work. Not even the other coaches like that works with ABCs, like the Sergeant or Lieutenant Dan or whatever guy. He can't even get laid for day game. That guy's like a good looking, looks like a K-pop artist fucking guy. He can't get laid for day game. That's why he sticks to like fucking online dating. He told the other student, which I'm gonna post next, he says, why are you doing day game? Nobody can get laid. It's impossible. He said the word impossible. Day game is impossible. Are you crazy? Why are you still going back out there and doing day game? So the other student told me that, and I was like, tell Lieutenant Dan to shut the fuck up. Who the fuck are you to tell that other student? He still got laid with a white girl again, second time. 2 white girls. That's the next testimonial I'm gonna post. Former ABCs of Attraction student. But guess what? After that other guy who got laid, the K-pop maxing guy in Latin country, now he starts sucking him off and he started glazing him, and then he disappeared. He backstabbed me. He went back to ABCs and sucking them off. Unbelievable. But as I was saying, nothing is more important to me now than to get the Asians laid. I have been neglecting you guys. I'm sorry. I'll be back and be helping you guys. So you gotta learn how to stretch. So you gotta stop thinking like, why bother if you don't go Tinder or night game instead of day game? Like, why bother learning all these social skills like my students? Why bother? Like, good for them, right? So what? They must have more grit. They're different. They're different type of Asians. There must be something about them. How are they able to get laid? It's impossible. ABCs cannot do it. Queefing cancel Casanova, the students barely can do it. How is this possible? It doesn't make sense. Why are you the only day game coach, John, that can do it for the students? Why? Because there's only one way that works. The arrow science, maneuver, sexualized objections, looping. But requires, that's the arrow tip. But you need social skills to grow the arrow, social calibrations, emotional control. But John, we don't want to learn all that shit. We just want to stand there, bulk up, eat a lot of food, get a black shirt to show off the muscles, have Asian looking hair, and then stand there until an Asian woman looks at us and then we say, you want to go home with me. We don't want to do all this extra shit, John. The fuck? Why we had to put extra work? Because it's worth it. It's fucking worth it. So the first exposed secret is, okay, let me just pin this one for the people here. I'll pin this one over here and I'll pin this one over here. Nobody is liking it. Do you guys want to hear testimonials from Asians right now? I can play endless, or should we just go right to it? They just skip the testimonials. We already know that I'm the only one that can get you laid for day game that are Asians. Yeah, I mean, think about it this way. Maybe I've been selfish. I haven't been helping my own fellow Asians for so long. I've been selfish. I've been focusing on all the other ethnicities. And when the Asians disappeared, I just didn't care. I was like, I'm getting all these other guys laid, right? They don't want to show up. Sucks to be them. But I think that was wrong. That was the wrong mindset. Okay, here's the guy that he got like 21-year-old stripper. Do we need to play the testimonials? Maybe I need to play it for establishing credibility. Or should we skip it? I could skip it if you want. We'll play it fast. This is I can't go. Nothing. So he said he had nothing. Oh my! But he's staying at the stripper's place. Was he homeless or something? Did he make less money? Who knows? Yes. He says he had a 21-year-old stripper's apartment. All because of Johnny Lee's tonality training. It's just a few subtle differences in tone. He says it's a few subtle differences in tone that makes all the difference. In case you can't hear it, it gets scrambled, right? Usually when I play the video, it gets scrambled. All the difference in attraction. All of it. It's literally the secret to the universe. All of human interaction. Tone. It's tone. Nothing else matters. If you're not on mixed melody, you're cooked. He says if you're not an elite tonality master, you're cooked. Cooked with the tariffs. You're cooked with the tariffs. Oh my god, it feels good. Feels good because I'm in a downward spiral. This is got part of it. This. He says he was in a downward spiral. That's what got him out of it. No drink that specific is probably hottest moment than this. So very clear for this. Looks particular and come forth. It's amazing how much it is we have much balance. It's really, really hard to avoid to trees on it. So that's wait to allow to meet some so that's it. You see that? It wasn't easy to get the stripper. Originally, this was like yeah, that was the last Asian guy that gotten laid. Give it a thumbs up for that. Is that cool? I'll be posting his testimonial afterwards for you guys to ignore. I figure if I post the testimonials, you guys ignore it, I can always repost it later on. So I shouldn't worry. I think this year people don't care about students late for day game. They have already given up. So the first exposed secret is that Asian day gamers always 100% fall for coaches' looks, height, muscles every single time that are Asian. I have helped so many Asian men get laid, procreated too, and got married for day game. The guy you just heard, he actually got married with my coaching before. He proposed in front of his wife when I was coaching him. And his wife knows who I am. That's why I have to really censor his voice and stuff. His wife knows, you know? But I like my fellow Asians. So none of everything I'm saying here should be taken out of context. I don't dislike you. I'm not trying to make you feel bad or make you feel inferior. I'm trying to help you to win. And winning is through day game. I'm trying to get you unbrainwashed by global game platform scamming networks that you guys cannot stop being brainwashed by. But lately, since I don't have the halo effect, I mean, look, I just ate 2 boxes of KFC. I look fat as fuck today. You don't look that fat, right? But I think, okay, maybe it's not like super fat. Let me just see with glasses. But my face looked kind of like wide today. Is that a good thing? My double chinner? A little bit. Right? There's a little bit of double chin. So I have some cortisol today, a tiny bit. Yeah. So that lowers my halo effect. There's a tiny bit here. Not that much, but this week I'm a little bit chubby. So a little bit square jaw too, a little bit wider. So I don't have the halo effect, so I get dismissed because I don't have a rectangular head like that Asian Lee. I mean, seriously, what's their counter reply? You guys don't even have any fucking day game late testimonials, or very few. What's your counter reply? You can't. None of you guys can say anything. They can't. Or low integrity scams. They can't. Because they're fooling everyone because of the halo effect. That's all. Because they stand next to women in the video. That's it. And I don't have any of those muscles, height, looks, or rectangular shape. I get a bit of a round fucking square jaw, round face. Outside of that, for me, the Asians have turned MGTOW for day game. But they rather listen to other Asian dating coaches for night game and Tinder shit in Latin countries. And all these other coaches I mentioned, Queefing, Cancel, Casanova, ABCs, they all go to Latin America. Or they live in like a passport bro country like Thailand. It's like literally everything is not like none of it is about North America anymore. It's always some kind of passport bro maxing shit. I know, I get it. After I read the Nomad Capitalist, I get it. Maybe I was wrong, but that should not be the only option. So now they make Asian men feel like they aren't enough because they're passport bro and they're swiping in Latin country for $7,000 a boot camp in a Latin tour. They're like, why bother outside of it? Why do the day game? Why bother? But the big idea here is that despite all of the late testimonials I posted for day game and Asian students, I have the most for Asian students in the world too. They rarely get it. They have one token Asian. That one token Asian, they say, see, it works for Asians. It's harder for Asians, but this is fucking years ago. You're token Asian. Come on now. And they use it for example for everything about game. See, game works because one fucking token Asian, one Asian got laid from their coaching a long time ago. Therefore, game works, right? You see that game work? Oh my God. It proves that game is not the answer. It's social skill. Oh, Asians are like, what's that? We got tiger parents. We never socialize. Body language. No, are we supposed to square off? It's like, we got a whitewash tonality. I don't get it. What's wrong with my tonality, John? What's wrong with it? You need to use maneuver, sexualized objections, looping. But isn't it supposed to get number closes and flaky numbers because you're Asian? No, guys, no. You just don't get it. You don't get it until you invest in yourself. So I have to call you out. I'm trying to help you. Because nothing's more important to me. My life, if I have one mission, it is to get all of the Asians guys laid. If the whole world, right, from all the Game Global audience and all the other people, they all listen to me as an Asian dating coach, and they only listen to me, just one person, nobody else, and I get all of them laid. Maybe I won't get all of them laid. I'll get probably like with a bad economy, maybe I'll get 1/3 laid. But that's already close to like fucking like over even with 1/3 of the active approachers. That's at least how many testimonials? Probably over 100. I can add to my 681 late post testimonials. I can add another 100. But still, better than them. They can get 0 people late for Daygame, unless you're in a Latin country. My one guy for ABCs. Does that make sense? That's about it. Damn. Only, you know how many views I get for this video so far? Right now, currently, just 14 views. I gotta call people out again. Shit. I don't know. Like sometimes I think to myself, like I've done so much good for the world, but I'm practically invisible, like John Cena. Right? You can't see me. What the fuck? I don't know. Like, guys, let me do my job. Let me get the Asians laid. Just do what I say. Stop thinking so much. Just let me do my job, which I'm good at. It is a God given ability. Let me use my God given ability. Let me help all the other Asians get laid. So, I mean, in ABC's one Asian guy with glasses, they call it K-pop. It's bullshit. It's not K-pop maxing. It's called looks maxing. He's better looking than all the other Asian guys who are very Asian looking. That's all. That's the only reason why he got laid for a day game. But he got laid before years ago in a Latin country, but he was the only one out of their entire student base. So he's a token Asian. The only one exception to the rule. It's stupid. Token Asian. They go straight to Tinder, right? In night game shit. In Latin countries, just swiping on Tinder. Pay $7,000 to engineers. They don't give a shit. They can afford it. They're not poor sewer rats. Level 1, like I said, became level -1. They become in debt after the tariff. Level 2, right? That used to spend $1,000 for Elite Bundle Resurrections, are now level 0. They're just paycheck to paycheck. Level 3 became level 1. Does that make sense? So the coaches are often former engineers with Asperger-like qualities without understanding social skills. They use their own gamified methods like ABCs or queefing cancel Casanova. And you need that for day game. But their autistic RSD or their Asperger mystery method, where ABCs learn from, it doesn't work for Asians for day game or even day game in general. There's no late testimonials for day game using mystery method shit. There's none for their students. So you go around using more game and more mystery method or misery method techniques, and you're getting stuck with their open, attract, comfort, and seduce model. Even if you can afford a Latin world tour and $7,000, you don't give a shit because that's basically 1 month of your pay. I get it. And you won't train here because I mostly train level 2, but level 2 became level 0. Level 1 became level -1. You never realize that your social skills are non-existent, and learning from other former engineers, the blind is leading the blind. As you see, my Asian students are getting laid while you're desperately clinging on to fucking Tinder in Latin countries. Why? You got told Asians aren't enough. So they prey upon your vulnerabilities and your insecurities. They will tell you how Asian men need to make $200,000 more to their white counterpart because of a university study just to be equal to him. It doesn't explain how my Asian students are even able to get laid in North America. You know, this stupid study. They're still getting laid without having $200,000. These days, coaches are all passport bros living in Latin countries. If they are Americans, they will have Latin world tours. Or else they live in Thailand or some shit. You get all these other Asian day game coaches with zero late testimonials or very few and very far in between. You got these high integrity skills, more like low integrity scams. That's selling you a dream just standing next to women that they hired. It's more like low integrity scams. And you look at how they look and they gaslight you because you think they're good looking. And they tell you this is what social skills is. They're going to analyze it. They don't know what social skills are. They're just making shit up. They're like the Temu version of charisma on command. You know, people gravitate towards that because people are losing their ability to socialize. But all of a sudden, you trust them. But why do they live in the fucking Thailand? This is a passport bro country. They can hire a lot of European women if they wanted to be in their videos for cheap as optics. You fall for that. Then you have other coaches like this Asian Lee guy who has like a rectangular Stonehenge head. Lee, that's his name. Who literally has so few students late for global game platform scammers is boosting his boot camps. They literally are boosting him as authority. That's called false authority to people that gets you little to no results. It's always some Latin country maxing. I don't know where he's living, but I wouldn't be surprised if he's living in some Latin country or some shit. I could be wrong. I don't know. I haven't researched. But, and then all these other guys are like status maxing on Tinder, which has less skills. Asian day gamers always want something to work right away, even if it's not day game. Whether it's loud clubs or dirty bulking with a compound Ninja Turtle-like body, using alcohol at night with less social skills and emotional control, or swiping on Tinder in Latin countries, Asians, like, that's black pill. That's black pill for the night game without any skills, already gets them laid. And also when they go Latin America, that's red pill. That's status maxing. You see that? Asians are red pill or black pill, but they are not the natural pill with social skills, social calibrations, emotional control. They are not the natural pill. And as much as I talk in the microphone, I don't know if it's getting through to people or not. They're just not getting it. It's like they see my mouth moving, they're yapping my gums, but they just cannot stop sucking off the other coaches because they're better looking than me. I get it. They're much better looking than me. So why listen to John, the guy who gets all these Asians laid for Daygame? Why listen to him? Ridiculous. I've done so much to help my Asian brothers. That's all I care about. And I know I haven't shown it, and I have been neglectful. That's going to change. Even if I have to shout from the rooftops and be on it every single fucking day, and you guys don't listen, I would say the same thing. Asians need my help. Asians need my help right now, really badly. They won't make it without me. That's the truth. So let me see. All right. I'm just going to give myself a bit more views. I'll just use a browser or something and just leave this on. But it's ridiculous. It's like you guys are not listening. There's only 1.2 hours of watch time. You guys don't want to hear this. And nobody cares about Asian men. That's the truth. None of you guys care. I wrote this on WhatsApp. Nobody shows up. They don't give a fuck about Asians. And Asians don't give a fuck about Asians. They lost all self-esteem. Ridiculous. So there are 3 levels, right, to students, meaning that what's the difference in levels? Level 3 means that they'll spend 1.5K to $25,000 for queefing cancel Casanova's Latin World Tours. $25,000. There's no self-esteem. So then what are level 2 then? Level 2, they'll spend exactly $1,000. They won't spend more than $1,000. That's what a level 2 student is. That's exactly the price of my Elite Bundle Resurrections. $1,000, which is cheaper than $7,000 for ABC's bootcamp and Latin World Tour. It's 7 times cheaper. And the only reason why I made it cheaper and reasonable in price is because It'll lead to more people getting late. I'm trying to help you. Maybe I made a mistake, but most people are level 2. But because level 2 became level 0, they jumped back 2 spots. Now they're broke, living paycheck to paycheck because of the tariffs. And level 1, right? The guys who were poor sewer rats. I'm not saying you guys, but the poor sewer rats, they're level -1. They're 5-figure debt. They can't afford anything because they spent all their money on McDonald's. They're spending $25 or like $23 or something for a meal, and they cannot help themselves because they're lazy people that never take responsibility. So that's the thing. Everything I say triggers them. But for level 3, I mean, you gotta speak like ABCs to these people like this, very friendly, and not offend them. And that's the only way that they'll listen to you. You gotta talk like really nice to them, like they're stupid kids or something. You got to be super not. Oh, I don't want to offend you or nothing. I'm talking, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, I'm not triggered. I'll listen." And then the money goes right out of their pockets, right? They just take the money right out of their pockets like that because they talk to you like stupid kids. Hey kids, how's it going? Hey Asians, right? I'm gonna tell you some things that may trigger you. The world's unfair. You got your K-pop max. It's a fucking excuse. It's just like guys looks maxing because he's better looking than other Asians. It's not because they're K-pop maxing. If it's the same fucking K-pop maxing, all the other students will get the same results. They don't. Not for Daygame because they don't have the skills. And the skills is over here. So yeah, they need to be coddled and pampered, or they won't listen. Because they always say, John, if you offend them, no matter how good your message is, they won't listen to you. You can have the best message in the world. They will not listen to you if you offend them. Does that make sense? So you must never offend the Asians. But I'm trying to help the Asians. But I only speak in a language that level 2 understands. When I yell at them and I sound like that, I scare them. It's like, oh no, John sounds like my Asian tiger parents. We got to run away. We got to run now because we're scared. Why is he talking like that? Because I'm not a marketer. I'm a coach. I'm not a marketer. If I were a marketer, I would speak like, hey guys, this is John Elite here. And I'm speaking to you in this tonality, which it sounds a lot more friendly. So the very first thing I want to talk to you guys about is that you see, Asians now Asians are listening. They're like, oh yeah, now we're listening. I don't want to talk like that. I don't want to wear a mask, but I could talk like that anytime. That's why ABCs they treat you so nice to not offend you. Don't you see, guys? Their reviews are not real because 2 of my former ABC students, they told ABCs that they'll give them a free digital course or something if they give them a good review. Of course, this is not just my opinion. This is a fact. Maybe some people in here in the chat, who knows who, may have gotten free courses. But yeah, they'll give you a free course. They say you give them a 5-star review, you get like a free course of your choice. That's digital course. You see that? They're unethical. So you got fooled by the reviews because of the good reviews, then that's what happened. But yes, they're gaming the system, being Machiavellian. And you might be saying that's bullshit. Is there any proof? Well, maybe some of you. I know you will not speak up here, but if you did, you know who you are. So they're getting good reviews, but reviews does not mean late testimonials for Daygame. And Tinder doesn't count as late testimonials. Tinder is different. So let me see how long this video has been so far. 39 minutes. All right. Still got to get my message across. So how about I change the thumbnail? If there's less people here, maybe they're offended again because they're Asians. They're always offended. I'll take another thumbnail. Maybe I'll smile or something. Okay. Here it is. Let me paste this one. I know I should not be doing that on your time, right? Your time is precious. But there's less people here. I gotta change the thumbnail. If they don't like that middle finger one, because they're gonna get offended. All right. So write the word live here. Once I change this, we'll continue. All right. Here's a nicer thumbnail. Okay. I just took one right now. Let's continue. So I could get the Asians to speak out that ABC's told people they get a free course, a digital course if they give a good review. If that is the case, that's Machiavellian. The thing is that I don't ask for a video testimonial unless you get your dick wet. You always see at the end of every screenshot, as soon as a student told me they got laid, right? You know what happens? Why is this part sticking out so much? When I was looking at the thumbnail, this part's sticking out so much. Is this fat or is this a bone? If it's a bone, right? Why is this bone sticking out so much? Let me see. Looks weird as fuck. My thumbnail was like sticking out. I was like, what the fuck? Yeah. Well, it doesn't look like fat. There's a little bit of fat here. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm still a little bit chubby lately, but is this a bone? Why is it so fucking big here? It's a muscle? Like grinding my teeth or something at night? Fuck, man. This is a Korean jaw roller, right? For looks maxing. If you do this, you can relax the muscles, right? Maybe I'm grinding my teeth. Yeah, it does hurt a little bit. I know I could do this later, but I had this thing for years. This is a Korean technology. Maybe I should go South Korea and get like shave down my jawline or something like that. You know? Fat over here, I'm gonna push it aside. No, it looks so stupid in the thumbnail. It's just sticking out like crazy. I was like, yeah, right now, look at this angle. What is this? Is this fat? No, it doesn't feel like fat. It just bumps out like that. Look at it. It looks weird. What the fuck is this? Is it fat? Is it fat? No, it's not fat. It's not. It'll be fat in my skin. There's nothing wrong. It's like I need to upgrade my jawline. Fucking yeah. Maybe go South Korea. Just shave it down so I look more K-pop. So I can K-pop max, right? But anyways, let's continue. But as I was saying, um, I could get more students to speak out. But anyways, I hope you learn a lot from those courses because you didn't get laid from it, from the ABC courses. You got a free course for giving a 5-star review and you fooled everybody else. It doesn't take much to fool the level 3 engineer sheeps. Yeah, I hate that bump. I don't know what that fuck it is. Let's not get too distracted and get narcissistic over this shit. So level 1 was spent only up to $400 each time. So $5 to 400. Now, this is important because if you worship height, then looks, then muscles, right? Of an Asian dating coach, you are a sheep. Make sense? Your decision already is made up, and you'll overlook me because I'll never have the height. I'll never have the muscles because I'm always skinny fat, and I'll never ever have the looks. Like, I'm okay looking, but I'm not that great. Turns out that if you look at all the other Asian dating coaches, I'm probably second last in terms of looks. So you won't listen to me. Ridiculous. Your decision is made up. You're an engineer, you have more money, but you think it's faster as a shortcut to take a boot camp, even if it costs a lot of money. It's just how you think because you don't care. But they only have like positive reviews, but not student leads for Daygame. So in Latin countries, only for Tinder and rarely night game. Daygame becomes a throwaway. It's almost like a afterthought. It's just there on a checklist for their premium boot camps. They don't expect anyone to get laid. They just say, we're going to teach you something. And they make up all these ideas about Daygame. They have no idea what they're talking about. They just make it all up. And they think this is how you do it. It's not. So the second exposed secret is Tinder is easier than night game, which is easier than day game. That's right. What I mean by that is that day game is 20 out of 35. Looks out of 10, money out of 5, status out of 10. That's for race and stuff, and also status maxing. Social skills is 2.5 points, which they don't acknowledge for other Asian dating coaches. Social calibrations is 2.5 points. I mean, social skill 2.5, social calibration is 2.5, emotional control 2.5, game 2.5. 20 out of 35 points gets you laid. But night game is 15 out of 35. You don't have as much social skills in a loud nightclub environment. You don't have as much emotional control with alcohol in a loud environment. So that's the thing. When you look at everything, Tinder does not have all this stuff. It's just swiping with your thumb. It's not, they should not count as testimonials. That's just a body count. Tinder should never count as lay testimonials. It's not like you have the same results. I mean, if you go to a Latin country and you swipe and then you get like 900 matches because you're Asian with exotic advantage and third world money status advantage, is that really the same thing as skinning a cat? No, you're just swiping with your thumbs. That's all you're doing and texting. It's not the same thing. It's like, oh, results are results. No, they're not. You may get relief from that with women below your looks level, but you will never, ever, ever raise your self-esteem. Ever doing that. You always feel bad about yourself because you're just getting some relief. So that's the important thing. But if you get 20 out of 35, you automatically will get laid for day game, no matter what. Like right away, like within like 1 or 2 days. Less than 6 approaches. It's only 15 out of 35 for night game, and women are already down to fuck. Plus, there is alcohol and loud music, and you can't socialize easily, only saying a few phrases out loud. Plus, you can't use emotional control with super loud music and alcohol. That's why Asian day gamers, they like night game Asian dating coaches because they can't get their students laid for day game. I'm the only one who can do it consistently for Asians, but nobody cares anymore because they have turned MGTOW. Because you listen to ABCs, that Latin's the only option, or you listen that night game is the only option, and then you all have given up on day game. You're like, oh, fuck it. Because you got brainwashed. Brainwashed. And that their points, you know, the thing is that they just can't get over the line of fuckability for 20 out of 35 because they've been studying under the mystery method mindset or paradigm. It's not transferable to day game without social skills and emotional control. Something that mystery does not have. Mystery is Asperger's. He cannot read facial expressions. That's why he's always looking for IOIs, indicators of interest. Because of that, that he created this open, attract with autism and nonstop tactics. And then build comfort later on, go on multiple dates, and then seduce and pull her home. Because he's done that, Asians are stuck with their ABCDEF method. because it's not transferable. Because that's only for 15 out of 35, which Asians will get laid from night game from it. Even in the United States for ABCs, we got to give them credit where it's due. We can't just like say this is what they're bad at. We also got to talk about what they're good at. Yeah, okay, let's give them credit. They got students laid for night game before in the United States. We have to be objective, but we can also be objective that they cannot get students laid for day game in the United States. The last time they gotten it from the United States is probably closer to like 5 years ago. One guy. That's it. And one guy in Latin country in 2024. And that's the thing. Without social skills and emotional control, only one Asian got laid in the Asian country, in their token Asian K-pop max. No, not me, in the Latin country. Is that they call it K-pop maxing. He does not look K-pop to me. He looks more like a guy who's better looking than all his other peers. But nobody else can even do it for ABCs. So imagine that how much you feel if there's only one guy who can get laid more than once, like twice, with two different women at different years from ABCs is only one guy. How is that in a Latin country? Of course, that will make Asians feel bad. It'll be like Asians will feel like, you know what, fuck night game. I mean, fuck day game. If only one Asian guy could get laid twice in two different places in 2 different years in the Latin country, then what chance would they have for day game in the Western country in North America? Well, my students still get laid regardless. Even the other guy still got laid with white girls. The 21 guy who got laid with a 21-year-old stripper. Although that wasn't day game, he used some other system, like other way of doing it. But he still got 2 more lays with white girls in the United States. So imagine how that feels like when you don't have a path to victory unless you are that token Asian K-pop maxing guy with decent looks. But you can't even be done with a second Asian student. Doesn't that make you feel like maybe you're not enough? So you double down on swiping on Tinder. You know it will not work in the United States if you're Asian. But some people, unless you're super good looking and you look like a K-pop guy in them on Tinder, then you'll get like lots of matches. But if you don't have that pretty boy look and stuff like that, you will get no matches in North America as an Asian man. Indians will have more matches with you with Asian girls than you will have with Asian girls. That's what I'm saying. But you can get white girls through day game. That's a loophole. Not from night game, but from day game. But you can't go to the country. I mean, you seriously, you can go to the country yourself and swipe. Won't you get identical results if you go to Latin America by yourself? Why would you need them? It doesn't make sense. Just fly there yourself, swipe. You have 800 matches automatically, 900. If you're Asian and you're decent looking. What the fuck? Why will you need to spend $7,000 extra? Tinder is 12 out of 35, meaning that if you are white and you probably have 10 points for status, and if you have some looks, you're above it. Even if you're 6 out of 10 in looks, you're already 16 points out of 35. You eventually get laid. You don't have to be good looking. You can just be white and just nonstop lays. Maybe they get less these days, but you get women below your looks level. On Tinder, they're so ugly that they look kind of like the women that you see, like, you know, UMP students before when they got laid, not anymore, but for day game. Many years ago, when UMP students gotten laid, sexualizing it. The women are all like 3 out of 10 or 4 out of 10. They're ugly as shit. They're super, super ugly. But that's the same level of what you get on Tinder. You get like war pigs. But do you feel good getting that? So I can't believe other day game coaches or dating coaches, right? The Asian guys are using Tinder as testimonials, swiping with your thumb. So if you're a white guy and you already have a 10 out of 10 perceived natural status, you can't say results are results. It's like, well, that's stupid. That's stupid. It's not results are results. One of them is pickup, the other one is not. You know, when you got a body count, it's not a lay count. Oh yeah, let's do a lay count. No, you don't have a lay count. You have like this many body count, and your day game and night game is how many lay count you really have. A lay count of F closes is from day game or night game, which requires pickup. what is worse when they go to Latin countries to status max with their high status engineering job that makes them more money than the locals there. They probably make more money in a month than they make and the locals make in a whole year for these Asian engineers. So they have more status and lifestyle display on their Instagram or the third world money status advantage by traveling, which the locals cannot always do. Or the exotic advantage being Asian versus the Latina population. Because you're a different ethnicity, Asians, you stand out with the exotic advantage. And that's what they're trying to do. That's why swiping over there will eventually get you laid. Even if you have lower perceived natural status, you can still status max. That's why would they go to Latin America to swipe on Tinder? Why not go to the United States? Because they can't. They get very few lays from it, or they won't even get any matches. So does that raise your self-esteem to game women when you have a huge money advantage to the local population? That's the question I want to ask you, Asian guys. You spent $7,000 to fly there. You're an engineer. You have no social skills. Does that make you feel good? Do you feel like you accomplished something by swiping there? Does that make you feel like you accomplished something? Do you really think they like you for you or your money? Or maybe having more status? Why can't you do that in the United States for Daygame? I'm asking you some questions so you think. Why is it always Tinder maxing in Latin countries? Aren't you taking advantage of people in Latin America? What does that say about Asian men in general for your self-esteem? Is like, why should you do Daygame, right? It makes no sense. What does that say to your self-esteem when you have no options in Daygame? It makes you feel like you're defective, doesn't it? It makes you feel like you are not enough. But I'm trying to tell you, that's the wrong mindset. You should feel like you are enough. If you level up your skills, then you can earn skills drills equals skills equals value. Drills equals skills by automating it. Then when you have the value, it runs automatically for your whitewash tonality, your social skills flow drill. Then you can collect a lay by being over the line of fuckability. But when you look at ABCs and you say these things, they're like, it glazes, their eyes glaze over, and then they go back to the mystery method and they talk about Latin country. It doesn't even make sense to them. Like, it doesn't make sense to them. What are you talking about, John? What social skills? Is that like conversational skills? We don't understand, John. We don't get it. So, oh my God, I'm trying to save you guys. Why don't you guys get it? No, we don't get it. And then it's like 900 matches in a short time, of course. A dozen dates, one lay, $7,000. Is it worth it? All that for one lay? I have Asian students with 100 lays on Tinder, and that's just one. He has 99 more. Who gives a shit? I said that doesn't count. It's just like I look at the women; they're way below his looks level. It's almost like you're validating the women by banging women that are less attractive than you. Doesn't that make sense? You're validating them. You're giving women that are kind of like looks like war pigs. You're giving them sex just because they have a pussy and they're not attractive, and you feel good, that you feel relief. You get narcissistic, but you never raise your self-esteem because the higher your ego, the lower self-esteem. Now you're raising your ego, your self-esteem goes lower, and then you get stuck. And now you think it's a loophole. In reality, you're getting played. You're getting played. That's what's happening. Let's see how long is this video so far? That's almost 2 hours. Shit, I better go faster. So I changed his Instagram and took away most of his pictures. However, he got 75 body count, not lay count, to 100. So 25 more from that in a short time. I told him it will not raise his self-esteem. Just get relief. But he still got 15 lays from pickup. Daygame. 5 models, 5 white girls, 2 actresses, 1 he married. Doesn't that give you so much more confidence and self-esteem when you have competence? Because competence leads to confidence. It's not fake confidence. This competence by drills equals skills equals value. Line the fuck ability. Skills, I mean, competence equals confidence. Don't black pill this shit. Don't just dirty bulk. Don't just fly and be red pilled in Latin countries. Instead of swiping in poor countries where women are below your looks level, you might as well just go to the Philippines, right? And just swipe. Seriously. You think that's skills? But if you go Latin America, you pay for a boot camp for $7,000 just for one lay. I mean, talk about complete total sheeps. Can't you just pay me 1K, 1/7 of that, and get laid this way over here? There's a learning curve. No, but Asians don't want to have a learning curve. They just want instant. They want like instant coffee. They don't want to do any work. They don't want to grind the fucking coffee beans. They don't want to put the sugar in it. They just want to press a button, go Latin America, and then get the drink, get their lay on Tinder. It's not even skills, not pickup. Asians don't want to stretch and learn new skills, but you have to stretch. They just want to be instantaneous and they fall for false authority. However, you will never really fully raise your self esteem unless you get laid for day game in a Western country. So stop it with all this Tinder crutches or going to night game. This means that there's a reason for all these passport bro Asian dating coaches living in Thailand, like the Asian Lee and these other people. I'm not sure if he lives in Thailand or not, or the other high integrity skills or low integrity scams or being passport bros, right? Why aren't they in fucking America? Like ABCs. Why are they always overseas? Rarely they don't get day game late testimonials, despite having a bigger audience due to the halo effect. You guys have been played. It's like nobody likes Johnny Lee. They fucking hate my guts, but I'm the only one who has the ability to get them late. It's just not registering to some of the Asians out there. One coach statistically gets you late. They don't care about late testimonials. I posted 10 late testimonials in a row, not even one new student. People are MGTOW. They turn into sewer rats for level 1. I'm not saying you guys are more likely level 2. But for the level 1 sewer rats, I'll just keep saying the word sewer rats until people get triggered. Level 1 sewer rats just sewer like crazy. They don't care. Then you got this stupid Jeff Kahn or Jeff Cock. And then this other guy with long hair, literally standing next to women in Brazil in the social circle. And then the only late testimonials are in Latin countries or night game. And maybe one guy in North America for night game. None for day game. Always in Latin countries. They have no idea what they're talking about. They learn from the mystery method. They're stuck. One of them dare goes on Discord and says, my testimonials are fake. None of them are fake assholes. You guys are just they're called jealous because you guys cannot fathom it because you're stuck with your mystery method, misery method shit. That's why you guys cannot get your students late because you've been gaslighted and trained by ABCs. You're stuck. That's why you have no proof. Nobody trusts you. You just stand next to women. That's all you do. All these guys that are tall, like the other guy, with good looks, right? These Asian dating coaches, they always just stand next to women they hired. If it's not hired, then it's status. We're just running some social circle setup game. That's it. And then they just say, that's our results. It's like, where's the proof? We never seen you open the sex, but there is no proof. It's just them standing next to women. That's all Game Global does is stand next to women now. They don't open the sex. They just stand next to women. They hire them. I feel like I can't get through to you guys. Why do you guys worship Asian coaches or global game platform scamming coaches when they just hire models and stand next to them? Does that give them like the procreation switch where they have more credibility by standing next to women they hired? Or they just stand next to them, hanging out with them? Does that make you feel good about yourself? Are you a sheep? Think. The fuck? Unbelievable. Unfucking believable. So they're jealous and defaming my character with slander before. But you wish it was fake because you can't figure out why your mystery method or misery method doesn't work. And the ones living in the United States will go to Latin countries like ABCs. they'll use like 15 out of 35 night game and 12 out of 35 Tinder or night game. It's almost like all these Asian coaches they can't even get Asians laid for day game. It's like impossible for them. But why are they even coaches? But they're night game coaches. They're passport bro coaches to show off their looks and height, their halo effect. Oh, because they're Asian, right? They're just like John, right? They must have it tougher. Well, if they have it tougher, then why the fuck are they not getting people laid for day game? Like, I feel like I'm screaming into the void, and people are so brainwashed by the economy that their self-esteem is so low, they're so delusional. I'm no longer getting through to them. So if you're Asian PUA or sheeps, and I don't have their looks or their height or muscles, and here's the thing, I can't believe ABCs actually look better than me. How the fuck is that possible? Thank you so much. I definitely needed that like. Don't forget, just a reminder, inner circle class, right, on Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific. I'll still remind you before then. All right. That's the thing. How can ABCs, like, all of a sudden, I look a little bit chubby today. I know I just ate 2 boxes of KFC chicken. It's called toonie boxes, right? Back then over here, a box of 2 pieces of chicken is for $2. Now it's like 5 something. Talk about inflation. It's only more than double the price. I still call it a toonie box. This is kind of weird, but all right. Jaw's okay. I just don't know why it bumps over here. Maybe it's a good thing, is having square jaw. Yeah, maybe that's the reason why it bumped over here. It looks stupid. I was wondering what the fuck is that? But maybe it's just a bone over here on the side. If it here, then the bone is sticking out here. It's the bone. No, this feels more like cheek. Is this fat? I don't think it's fat. There's no fat here. I don't like the way my face is shaped. Maybe it's time to go to South Korea, shave my jawbone so I look more K-pop. I'll be like, here. And I look like my old self again. But I am fat, so I don't have halo effect like them. I'm not fat, but I'm definitely like not looking my best. Like the last 2 videos. More cortisol lately. So with the Ozempic face, right? Of course, I could be wrong, but in my opinion, you have ignored me because I have the lowest halo effect. The engineer sheeps loved it. They love the halo effect. They suck it off. A ripoff. I don't hate you for this. I just dislike it and find it annoying. I want to help my Asian brothers. I care about my community. I'm here to help Asian men. I have the coaching ability. Should we post another Asian lay testimonial? Is that the only way you'll listen? Oh yeah, this student, yeah, he did get married, so I'm sure he doesn't care about if I use his voice. Maybe I should be more careful. I'll type it a different student. Okay, this one's not censored. I'm gonna post the next one from ABC's of attraction victim. That guy, white girl with my coaching 2 times, right? Redhead. I'll post it for like tomorrow or after tomorrow. How's that? Maybe after tomorrow. We'll post a new video testimonial. The reason why they have less videos in the video section is because they're just acting like poor people. Like, I don't want to say sewer rats, but that's why they get less videos. They're just gonna look at it with a thumb up their ass and be MGTOW like shit, like the Asians. The third exposed secret is that Asian day gamers doesn't want to stretch beyond their comfort zone. It requires drills and exercises. Most Asian day gamers who are fans of ABCs or other Asian dating coaches always wants the path of least resistance. That's why they always go to Latin countries and do Tinder and then night game. Day game is like an afterthought. They are engineers, Asperger's, logical. As much as I like my fellow Asians, I'm here to help. But however, I don't hate you. I'm trying to save you. But you have to open up your funnels dramatically. Day game is a funnel, like night game is a funnel. So is Tinder. But Tinder is like cannot be only in Latin countries. Night game could not only be for the big, dirty, bulking Ninja Turtle bodies. These types aren't my type of students, but they see my coaching and the way I talk to people, it scares them because they never heard anything so fucking real. Good evening. Hey, Marco, congratulations on your last leg. But yes, can you please give me a thumbs up? This video, right? It's like fucking only 6 likes. So that'd be helpful. But they want to be pampered and talked down to. Hey guys, I don't want to offend you, so I'll be like coddling you. That's how ABC talk to you. They give you some good reviews, even if they get no results or minimal. They only care about reviews and optics. They don't care about students getting laid for day game. Always some Tinder or night game shit, mostly Tinder now. This is key because these are level 3 students who will spend 1,500 to 25,000. They call high ticket. They can afford it being engineers. They never want to do any drills for 30 days to improve their social skills. They rather swipe on Tinder, flying to Latin countries for $7,000 a boot camp, never mind the plane ticket or the hotel costs, even if it includes all that stuff. Now I know what you're thinking, that maybe you should trust other Asian dating coaches if they're good looking because they're Asian. It must be harder, right? That's what you think, without caring about their lack of day game lay testimonials, because you saw their reviews, which they paid for, because they give their students a free digital course if they give 5 stars. You are a sheep. You've been fooled by Machiavellian wolves in sheep's clothing. Well, the tricky thing is that you will become MGTOW because you won't approach, because you're thinking if you don't have a dirty, bulking body for night game, or you cannot afford to go to Latin America, then fuck day game. That's what you're thinking. Let's not even train with John. Let's just disappear because no one wants to stretch. If you're Asian, you have less like status in terms of ethnicity, but you have to stretch to make up for it. You're like, fuck that. But Latin country maxing or dirty bulking maxing, or else forget about it. Because then you became MGTOW by listening to Game Global, platform scamming network, full of popular coaches. They boosted this guy called Asian Lee, who basically has no fucking students laid or very few for day game. And that's why I create the Elite Bundle Resurrections. You can train with me for a whole year. It's not just some fucking short boot camp or some school shit, some bullshit group coaching, worshipping. You're not here to worship me. I'm not a likable person. You just do what I say. You show up. You retard max. You stop thinking. You do what I say, and then you get your results. You got to get out of your head. You got to stop being so logical and Asperger's, right? The thing is that you have to be financially stable and not affected, or else the cortisol will get you. I get it. Plus the cortisol, plus the economy, plus all these other things, you just decide to turn MGTOW. You think it's an easier path if you just turn MGTOW. I get it. So you don't need an expensive boot camp anymore. You can drill down the skills, and I teach you online. And you learn how to boost your memory. Since, you know what, sometimes I feel like I'm talking to a brick wall. Either I get smear campaigned, or people are so MGTOW that they don't get it. But if you do get it, boost your memory, do the drills, right? Don't be lazy and go with their approach. And it's no longer endless drills where you're avoiding afterwards. You don't approach, you just keep doing drills, since bad potential students are vetted now that are total losers. But you will also have to watch your own video calling out your mistakes. I told you for 20 times before every fucking approach. It's on WhatsApp. On the very top, you make a video, you watch it before every approach, and you remember your mistakes. Look at my Indian student. He has to watch a video 20 times. He doesn't remember anything. He has no memory. He's completely wiped out. He's forgotten how he got his first 3 lays. Now he's back to the beginning. But all these new protocols is what keeps you having a memory when your cortisol wipes out your memory, because they shrunk your hippocampus. So for your homework, you have to go through every video in my courses 6 times to reinforce it, because you can't remember anything. So what is this going to do is give you back your memory if you don't have one. There are new protocols for training that becomes your external brain. And I'm the world's best day game coach who got more Asians laid than all the other Asian dating coaches combined for day game. I got more students laid for day game than every other coach combined too for the day game coaching. So in all this without fucking expensive boot camps. Boot camps is where they make the most money because their courses don't work. I have 681 laid in pro testimonials. It's been a long run to get there. It's not as high as it needs to be. But let's see here. Is there any 6 month program instead of a year? How about this? I can accommodate. I know that, but here's the thing: you got a girlfriend. You don't need me. You've been training me for like 5 or 6 years in a row, and you got a girlfriend. You've done it now. You got some skills I've taught you. Is it a white girl, Marco? Is she like European or is she like American? Like, you don't need me, Marco. Maybe it's time you graduate from my coaching. But John, I want like a local white girl, not a European. Or John, I want to get a younger woman. Yeah, but you can't remember anything, Marco. You have a lot of debt. I know it's getting better, but you're stressed out. You still got laid. You still have my skills. All the drills after 6 years of coaching. I think that you have graduated. Is that fair to say? Maybe, Marco, if you do actually pay for the inner circle, also elite access, maybe it's time because all these years you train with me, maybe it's time to move you to a lifetime membership of the inner circle. How's that? You can't afford 1,000 because you're not level 2, but you've been paying me for 6 years. How about this? You take one more elite access, you take one more inner circle platinum. I'll make you a lifetime student. As loyalty of all these years. How's that, Marco? I'll just say this to you. You might not need me anymore, Marco, because you've gotten a white girlfriend. I think all the training is now second nature. However, I'll make you an offer. If you get the elite access and also inner circle, you don't have to pay me the money for the lifetime membership of the inner circle. I'll make you a lifetime student for all these years, for 6 years of training with me. That's a great deal. Lifetime. That means like if you're there for lifetime, right? I get more testimonials. You still learn all the skills. You get to rejoin your group again, right? Because at that time um you could not afford it. But why not put down a deposit, Marco? If it sounds like a good deal to you, put down the deposit, right? Just to secure this deal, one-time offer. But yes, I will make you an honorary lifetime membership student after this deal, right? I want you in my group for life. Look at Marco. So what's Marco's story? Maybe the next YouTube live we should talk about Marco. How did Marco become a student? So for Marco, um, there's only one person here. Marco saw one of my other students who's from London. He got 10 fuck buddies, right? Is that right, Marco? Does that make sense? All right, we'll talk after live. He saw him get 10 fuck buddies and a model girlfriend, right? He wants that. But Marco did get 10 fuck buddies. Right? A girlfriend, one of the years. Girlfriend, fuck buddy. Girlfriend, lay, girlfriend. Fuck buddy. Lay, fuck buddy. Lay. Does that make sense? Marco's got those 10 lays, but it just took him longer to get there. But he has very epic ones. He also got relationships, all of it. So Marco, my Latino student, even though he's not technically my student right now, Marco is a legend. among you right there in the comments. He's a legend. And we're going to talk about him next in the next YouTube live. That would be awesome. But Marco was a legend. He invested in me, a Latino guy. I had another half Latino, took Kaizen and did not do any work. And then he quits and he smear campaigns me. What the fuck? Lazy cortisol filled loser that can barely afford the course with money problems and can't even close his high ticket closing deals. And then he's all stressed out for cortisol and refuses to approach with cluster C and blames it on me. The fuck? All these Asians could have been using my help. Now this guy can get away with that? He won't get away with it. I'm going to sue that motherfucker. So, Marco, your funding is going to go towards my lawyer, which I already paid, towards suing the other half Latino guy from Vancouver when he comes back from Mexico, where you were born, Marco. When he comes back, then we'll send him the lawsuit papers. But anyways, I digress. But Marco, the legend. So I have more than every global game platform scamming network combined for Daygame laid testimonials for coaching. I have more than UMP, even though some UMP students in the past used to get laid with really ugly women that are 3 out of 10. Does that make sense? They're 3 out of 10 in looks. Ugly as shit. Ugly as sin. Super fucking ugly. Now they don't get laid anymore during tariff. 2025, 2026, it's a graveyard. It's like all full of Indians bench coding. All Indians taking UMP shit. Nobody gets laid. Because they're global game platform scamming networks. Now you got all these other coaches. Do they get students laid for Daygame, for even Indian coaches or black coaches? No, they don't. Nobody gets students laid. Now it's all like a shit show. It's all about worshipping, like sheeps. Bah, bah. That's the thing. Now with this new training variant, 2026, things change. Marco, you'll be retrained in a very different way if you do retrain here. But you have to still approach, even if you have a girlfriend. Does that make sense? You still have to do all the drills. It'll be brand new if you retrain here. So the current one is designed for 2026. I'd rather have less students, but the right ones like Marco, who's willing to rejoin. But I want someone that has some SMV that can still get laid like Marco versus bad students who never gotten a date before. Never mind a phone number close. If you never gotten a date before or phone number close, and you went and do Daygame before and you want to train with me and go Elite Bundle Resurrections, no. You start with Elite 30 and you can prove you can approach first. You record like 5 to 7 infields. You put in a Google document. I analyze them, and then you can move on to part 2 or 3, which is Elite Access. And then when you have a double chin, I'm a little bit chubby today, right? It's okay. I get stressed out too. I wasn't using my Neo Rhythm or Neo Surround. This unit over here. Oh shit, it's not on. No wonder I feel more stressed out. Let me turn it back on. Press the button here. It should be green. See that? Now it's going to shoot out a beam that makes me more relaxed. Fuck, it wasn't on. No wonder I feel like more stressed out. Now it's going to start shooting that beam out. I was like, fuck. Isn't that weird? This thing's like a sprinkler, right? But with brainwaves. It makes you more relaxed. This is the only way, instead of using ashwagandha, right? I'm using this instead. This is on 24/7. But fuck, man. That's the only way I can keep myself from bench holding getting fucking chubby. But I probably am getting chubbier because I ate 2 boxes of chicken. But anyways, what I've done is I set up the new protocols for your drills so you don't need a boot camp. So if you can click the link right in the description, because if you go on YouTube, if you go on Google, you might just find the smear campaign get turned off. So you want to find my website, there's 2 ways of finding my website. Okay. Number 1, if you look at my YouTube, right on the very top, for example, over here, you see right underneath the banner, right over here, this area, it has a link to my website. Does that make sense? So it says johnelite.com and 7 links. And I'll have a link to my website here. See that? It'll have like official site, the main offer, which is Elite Bundle Resurrections, 675 late in, no, it's 681. It has a webinar, and also there's a podcast. I have a podcast. You see that? Spotify. You really have a podcast? You have a podcast, John? You didn't fucking tell me about it? Dude, if you don't like looking at my face because I have less halo effect, you should listen to my podcast. Be like, you don't have a fucking podcast. No, I really do have a podcast, guys. I'm not joking. There are people that listen to it. Some people don't want to see my fucking low SMV face. I'll post a link to it. Just make sure I'm not bullshitting. Okay? Right over here is my podcast. Let me post a link. Check this shit out. You want to be going to the gym or you want to be driving? Just listen to the podcast. Make sense? Just listen to the podcast. Work out and listen to it. Then you'll understand all these things I know. It's right there. It's real. I have a real fucking podcast. So that's the thing. You just go into one of these things. The webinar, for example, right? You just click one of these things, right? And then you find me here. I'm always in the description, but in case you can't find it, webinar, right? And this thing goes right to my Wix website webinar. Get it? Then you can just sign up for the webinar here. 5 secrets, right? So learn the 5 secret algorithms of not getting flaked on or friend zoned from hot women with my systemic approach, or cold approach, to get laid fast for 2026. No other dating coach would dare tell you. And then I got to update this, right? Because I bunched the words together. I got to learn how to spell properly. Maybe the headline's too long. So maybe I'll change the headline here. But what you do is that you just sign up here, right? And you can watch a video and I'll explain my coaching. See that? Just put your name, phone number in there, and then it'll go right to my WhatsApp and I'll give you the free bonus. So there's a webinar. Let's see what else is here. There's also a Facebook group here too, right? Right down here. So that's the thing. It's hard to find my website. If you look at the Google, right, you'll get turned off by the Reddit smear campaigner. That's who's going to get sued very soon. He's just not back in Canada yet. Until he lands in Canada, then I can sue him. But so far I can't. He's in Mexico. So just click the links there. And the thing is that the price went up, but I also give a $50 discount. Elite Bundle Resurrection is $950. I need to add a little bit more money because the inflation has less purchasing power. The thing is that I want to train those with some SMV, not those without any SMV, who never gotten a date before. If you're like 5'4" and you're just like chubby and you tell me you're strong, you're delusional. Anyways, that's what I want to say for the Asians, right? And if you can't afford it, right, and you have double chin, you're short, just start with Elite 30 from Hard Case to Hero. Start with the first course, do the 30-day challenge, send me like 5 to 7 videos of you doing the first 7 days, and then you can graduate and work your way up. You can pay for pieces at a time. Because level 2 now has become level 0, paycheck to paycheck. Level 1 has become -1. Does that make sense? So if that's the case, then yeah, hope that makes sense. But I think this is what I want to say for my YouTube live today. Okay? Remember, Asians, love you guys, want to save you all. I want to get you all laid for Daygame. Forget about night game, forget about Tinder in Latin countries. I want to save my own people. I think it's worth trying. But you guys cannot turn fucking MGTOW on me. Understood? Get back in the field, soldiers. Not MGTOW. Fuck MGTOW. Get back in the field. Train with me. Asians, stop listening to ABCs. Stop listening to Game Global. They're all scammers. All of them are fucking scammers. Scammers, 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 scammers. They don't get people laid for Daygame like I do. Scamming piece of shit. Right? Scamming pieces of shit. Like, how can they not get people laid for Daygame? Because people are dumb sheeps that are so brainwashed that they're filling boot camps like crazy. And this summer, you cannot see more boot camps filled than ABCs and all these other people. They're just filling like crazy because tall self-proclaimed Haile Kankai is not here roasting them. I'm the only one who can roast them. It's not fair that he's off YouTube. Normally, I don't care. But at the same time, this is not right. He deserves it because somebody needs to call them out. If not him, then maybe I would do it. I haven't been roasting people for a long time. I've been very nice. But that's the first roast about the Asians and listening to Asian dating coaches, and they're turning MGTOW over it by thinking they have to go to Latin America. Never again. Never again. Anyway, see you guys next YouTube Live. It's going to be about Marco, right? And his amazing journey. We're going to compare him to the Indian student. All right? So we'll talk afterwards, Marco, after I hang up. And then, yeah, we'll talk. Put down deposit, and I want to make you an honorary lifetime member because you're not level 2. You'll never spend $1,000 at once. But you spend you've been training with me for 5 or 6 years. I think it's time to move you up to a lifetime member. You can be there every single month, training with us and getting updated. That's where you belong. As long as you're willing to approach, even though you got a girlfriend. I mean, after 6 years of coaching, right now you can do it by yourself. But you might want more results. I get it. Everything that you have asked of me, I've been able to get you. Girlfriends, fuck buddies, 2 girlfriends at the same time, white girls, right? I got it all for you. What is your next goal? What do you want me to help you achieve? We'll discuss it. Maybe you want a different goal. Then I'll adjust the training for you. You have met every single objective. Very first time you came here, you said, I want to get 10 fuck buddies like the other guy. And you did. You got fuck buddies and girlfriends. So you got more than the other guy. That London guy. You know, you accomplished all this already. But yeah, we'll talk about Marco next. I think that'll be very exciting. There's a lot of testimonials to go through for Marco. But that's all I gotta say. Thank you for being here. Right now, there's not that many people here. But until this reaches 100 views, right? Until we get 100 views, then we will let me just change the I'll change the description. I'll change the description. Maybe it might SEO a little bit better. There it is. All right. I'm going to stop this right now. But like I said, I want to help my fellow Asians. That was my mission. Do not give up. It's not time to give up. Not time to turn MGTOW. Remember, I have a God-given ability to get Asians laid. I'm the only one in 8.3 billion people across the world that can get Asians laid consistently. Help me help you. Do not turn MGTOW and poor and think that night game is the only option with a big, dirty, bulking body, or else going to Latin country and spending $7,000 in ABC's boot camp, or $25,000 for a queefing canceled Casanova's boot camp world tour. This is not the only option. You're better than that. Step up with the skills. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid, Asians. I got your back. Do not be afraid. It is not insurmountable. You see how many short Asians have gotten laid before? I'm not talking my ass here. For some unknown reason, no other coach can get them laid consistently. They always have a token Asian from 4 years ago. Nobody can do it, or 5 years ago. Nobody can do it except for me. Except for me. So let me do my job. Let me refocus back on the Asians. I'm sorry I've been neglecting you guys. I need to do better. Next video testimonial is going to be Asian guy, former ABC student. Brand new. Nobody's ever seen before. Maybe it should be all new testimonials. I should not worry that I'm throwing away the testimonials and people are just ignoring it. I should post out there. I can always repost it in the future after 6 months, right? I can repost it. No big deal. That's what I'm going to do. Next one's going to be brand new. Nobody's ever seen it before. Let's do it. Anyways, let's stop the video now. Thank you for being here.